Hello, Twitch chat. Welcome back to another super exciting day of Nova Cup games. This is the semi-finals kicking off for the stream today, straight into the grand finals. So these are going to be some really exciting games. And with me on the cast, I have none other than Offma and Shadow once again. Thank you for coming back again, Shadow.
No
And
problem.
welcome to you guys for joining me. This is going to be a really exciting day of games. I'm very glad to have the both of you here today. What do you guys expect from the matches we have coming up today?
I would expect some pretty exciting early games because I think that's kind of been the theme of this month. After the update, everyone is actually interacting a lot in the early game, and people are taking tons of damage, and the games are getting finished quick. And when you play with four really good players, basically any mistake you make in the early game just flips the game a lot.
Hmm.
So it'd be really exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just shows the importance of early coverage, right? People tend to focus a lot on their late game builds, but it this patch just shows how important it is in the early game to make sure that even if you want to reach that late game, that your early builds does cover themselves pretty well, so that you reduce the king damage.
yeah. There was a game yesterday where we were talking about two players nearly starting with Elite Archer, which I guess seems innocent enough, right? But in this meta, if you have two Elite Archers on the enemy lanes, you're just going to die on wave 5 or wave 6 or something, right? Because
Yeah.
we've seen how much damage a couple of brutes can do to the king, especially on those early waves. And if
On
there's
wave
like,
four?
yeah, what was that wave for? Like 60% damage
On wave
down?
four, two brutes, 20%?
Yeah, that was nuts. Two brutes and nothing else. Like
Yeah,
literally
nothing
nothing
else.
else. Not even a single flying chicken. Just two brutes reaching the king. 20% damage was insane. And I think we've seen people drop like 60% of their king's health on wave 6 and stuff like that. So, I mean, look, guys, the meta change has been momentous. Praise be to Jules for doing something brave here. I think it's certainly shook things up a bit. I get time will tell whether it's the right place or if things need to still be tweaked a little bit. But for now, I'm just really enjoying how different the games are. Like the pacing is significantly different, I think, from what we've had over the last couple of months.
For sure.
And I'm just really enjoying the games. They're very fast and aggressive.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing, honestly. I played like 10 games on
Oh,
Friday, and I mean, I was using Dragpot to check my stats. My average King HP is like 55, but the enemies is also like 53.
by what? By wave 10?
Yeah, by wave 10. And
I
I'm
see,
just
I see.
killing myself or them in game.
Oh, Offma, you're back. You're back
I'm
in the
back.
game, my man. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, honestly.
Sweet.
Even
Yeah.
if I'm like inting half my games, but
Oh, I've been inting more than half my games. I think in like the week since the patch came out, I lost 300 elo almost immediately. Like I looked at my again my Drakbot graph. Shout out to Drakir for that site, by the way, if anyone hasn't seen it yet. And my elo graph is like steady as she goes, steady as she goes. Patch day, bang, straight down. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. But it has been fun to play, despite the fact that I'm getting absolutely manhandled. Apparently. What about yourself,
But what
Shadow?
I
You
want
in?
to hear What I want to hear is, I mean, we saw Rapampam on the stream yesterday, right,
Hmm.
Penny? And what we didn't see is their opponent Burns Kieran, and I just looked at their road,
Hmm.
and they took a loss at the first round to take two series win to get in there. So I was curious, since Ofma casted those, what was it like on the second group? Because our group was pretty scaly, to be honest. There was no Fiesta to speak of, and it's
Hmm.
mostly Kingsguard that dictated it.
yeah, I mean, Kingsguard was definitely a staple. Fake One and Pakistan played it every single opener. Like Kingsguard plus Greed was their starter. And I saw Drakir and Lucy also play it a couple times. I think everyone values it so much just because your king is so weak early game. But the other thing, I guess, like they did lose in the first series. It's like 2-1. In the game three, they basically just lost the game on wave one. They got double snailed, and they both played like weak leaked the snail, so they just took 10% on wave one. And yeah, the early game was pretty much over after that. But they brought it back in the losers or the last chance match. It was the same matchup them against the Brute Delivery System, and they won that one 2-0 pretty cleanly. So I think this patch does definitely take a lot of time. So the more reps you get, the better you'll start playing. So I think they should be in good shape.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, it's going to be a pretty exciting match. Like Shadow said, we didn't get to see Drakir and Lucy on the main stream yesterday because that was cast by Offmer on your own channel. So thank you again for running that one for all the fans. And it's going to be really cool to see them play here against Fine and Pavidad. Now we did get to see Fine and Pavidad yesterday, but only once, right? Because they just steamrolled their games. They made it straight through to the semi-finals, won that upper bracket game, and obviously earned their spot here today. So we didn't see too much of them yesterday. Kusa was the team of the day yesterday. We saw 3 of their series being played, Adams and Isolde. Now, obviously, they're here again in the semi-finals as well. But we won't be casting that game, at least unless this game ends too soon, and then we hop over perhaps. But it'd be really interesting to see who makes it through that other semi-final. So
Yeah.
the one that we're going to be watching with you today, Twitch chat, is going to be Barnes Kieran, Drakira and Lucy, up against Ram Pam Pam, Fine and Pavidad. The second semi-final, Kusa, and they are playing up against the Chaos Chemists, which is Atrocity and Schminter Schmoll. So that's
Just
going to
want to
be
jump
a
and
pretty
say,
exciting one. I mean, all of these semis are just way too close to call, I think. I really have no idea which team is going to make it through to the final because it could very, very easily go either way.
yeah, I think Atrocity in the whole were actually playing insane.
Yeah.
Yesterday they were 4-0 and they won every game in like 2 seconds.
Wow,
Legit, like
that's
they were
nuts.
ahead after the early game every single time. Like,
Yeah,
and I mean, like the last game maybe I thought that they had a chance to lose, but
they
and they
pulled it
still won
out.
on wave 12 like every game basically.
Crazy,
I,
man.
I skimmed through it, and it's basically like the criteria of this game is basically do you cover the 6 and do you come out unscathed, and or are you able to do the damage on 6 and then take the lead after that? Because what the tendency seems to be like you do damage on 6 and 7 and then you go for 9. Seems to be the staple right now.
Hmm.
And it seems like that after 6 or 5, if there was a big sen, the team that comes out ahead is the one that deals better with this sen.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
like the thing is, wave 10 is so weak on the king, so it's not really a threat to be worried about. So like I feel like that's why 9 is so strong, and then
And then like
9
nine
kind of
nine
leads in.
13 or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all those mid game waves are so strong now that you can combo with any aggressive spell and kind of just kill someone.
Interesting, interesting. Well, I mean, that certainly makes me feel a bit better, Offmer, because I was saying on the stream yesterday that I played with Burnt a few games against Inderhole and Atrocity on the ladder, and they obliterated us. Like we played like 4 or 5 games and lost every single one of them. Some of them we were like dead on wave 6 or wave 7.
Yeah, they're
So,
looking good.
but the fact that they're treating all of the other Nova Cup teams in exactly the same manner, I feel a bit less bad about myself right now. So thank you for telling us that one, man. But yeah, okay. Well, I'll be very excited if we do get to see the Chaos Chemists in the grand final then. But for now, we have a semi-final game to watch. Do we have a lobby open, guys? I think we should by now, right?
Yes, we're just missing a clown.
Okay. There's always one. Always one. Okay, we have everybody in here.
But focusing a bit more on this lobby, Pavidad has been a fan of Castle on the ladder. He's been tending towards the cartel first game in this in this match. But if Drashir and Lucy suspect that it's gonna be a lot of income king from Pavidad and Fine, which they tend to do sometimes when they feel the game is even, maybe they're gonna pop up the Fiesta. I mean, Drashir has been known to pop out that Fiesta willingly to put additional pressure onto those castle players.
That'd be really interesting because we've seen very little Fiesta, haven't we, so far in the tourney? So it would be cool to see Drakir pull that one out of the bag here. But guys, we're about to find out. The players will let us know very shortly which masterminds they're going with, because game number 1 is about to begin. We have Ram Pam Pam on the left, that's Pavided and Fine. We have Barnes Kieran on the right, that's FC Lucy and Drakia. Here's game number 1. Let's go!
Yeah, actually, speaking of Fiesta at the Castle, Johnny was playing Castle and got, I think, Atrocity's Fiesta setting to him, and he got snailed on one with Skeleton, and he just couldn't play the game after that. Just leaked every, like, 1-2, and then couldn't upgrade his Skeleton.
I mean, oh, okay. So YOLO Chaos for Lucy against the Castle of Pavidad. So Pavidad does go to his castle, and that makes a lot of sense with the Legion spells being pretty defensive or towards a 13 or 14 play, basically.
Yeah, and I have to call this one out, man, because yesterday we spent a lot of time calling nice luck for Adams. Look at Drakia's YOLO roll, man! This is like hand-picked! Hello?
He's just missing his Phoenix.
Yeah.
Tempest.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Yeah, okay, a Tempest would be nice, but, like, 6 units in a YOLO roll?
Yeah.
This is... You would take this any day of the week. A very strong roll here from Drakia.
I think Lucy, I mean, we have Chaos, so she'll always have a good roll. Fine has a pretty good selection of, like, his openers. He has 2 healer choices with the Skeleton.
Mhm.
That could be one option, or just play around these tier 3 units.
Yeah. I mean, Skeleton and Tree is already literally unkillable. What happens when you add a Sea Dragon into the mix as well?
They're starting the same thing,
Double
but
Skeleton.
yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, it makes perfect sense in this meta. When 6 is so dangerous, I think that security is super good.
Yeah.
But I do prefer the role of Fine with it
Yeah.
than the one of Pavidad.
For sure. Like, Kawhited has got to play around the Halo, which is a lot
Yeah.
more tricky. Like, he probably stays 6 workers then.
I mean, Pavidad kind of has a bit of a weakness on wave 5, right? Just looking at what
Yeah.
units he has currently. Fine has very good options on 5, though. He has the Sea Dragon, he has the Treant, so he can quite easily cover that wave if he needs to. And then, meanwhile, they both have decent options for 6 as well.
Yeah. Kawhited actually can't build here. So he would leak if he got snailed. But...
Yeah. There's the snail from Drakia.
And I suppose Lucia as well.
There's the snail
Yeah.
from Lucy. Yeah, okay,
They can't
snails are out.
both hold, right?
Well, Fine has added, so he
Yeah.
won't be leaking. And he can probably full cover the leak for Pavidad as well.
But that's problematic for Castle. I mean,
Yeah, I
with
think
5
he might
worker,
not
you
get
don't
gold,
get it,
right?
right?
Oh,
Not
really?
sure. That would be really bad, though.
I mean, it guarantees a long wave, right? So he can certainly get the 12 income from his DT or his Lizard or whatever. I think he should still be fine.
I guess it depends on how many kills. Like, if he gets...
He's supposed to leak 2. It looks more.
It looks like more, yeah. He's going to get 1 more? Okay, he leaks 3.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out. He's going to have...
I
This is...
mean, you need to add 72. Wait, does he have enough? Wait.
Yeah, he has enough. He has exactly enough.
Oh, exactly.
Exactly
okay.
enough. Okay. Absolutely calculated. 0 gold buff there for Pavidad.
Fine, not to sell to get it.
Okay, but at least he held as a result, and they took no
Yeah,
king
yeah,
damage,
yeah.
right? So it's probably worth the 8 gold
Definitely.
investment into the Oathbreaky.
But on the other hand, Drac goes to 6 workers. I mean, Archer Garg with YOLO, he's just easy 6 workers, right?
All right, so slightly more Mythium coming out from Team Ram Pam Pam. They did have a bit higher worker count in the early game, but Drakia was able to push to 6 with that long wave, so he's going to be pulling ahead, I think. Seraphine is an absolute juicer here on wave 4 for FC
Nice
Lucy. Easy hold for her.
Yeah, and then something you mentioned about the Archer being horrible on 6, like Lucy has the perfect opener and build to cover wave 6.
Oh, that's a really good point, actually, yeah. So Drakia's like 1 weak wave in the early. Is very nicely covered there by his teammate FC Lucy.
But what I want to see right now is Fine going for a 5 cent while Pavidad goes for a 6 cent. So they don't go at the same time, but that will open up a better early game for the castle player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
like
makes
that
more
line a
sense.
lot, actually.
Let's see if it's going to happen. Drescher is quite greedy with 8 workers already with the archer. That's normally not a good sign, but with YOLO, it's something you can allow yourself to do if you have the right units. With Gargoyle, it's possible.
Yeah.
He's the highest income mastermind in this lobby, right? There's no cartel player around, so he should
That is
have
correct.
decent economy, and especially with a role that good, I think he's in a nice spot. In fact, I prefer Drakir's role over both Pavided and Fine, and he's YOLO.
Yeah. And Pawaited had to income here so that he can actually build Halo, his only unit.
His
Yeah,
only
I mean,
unit.
we discussed about it. This was a bit tricky for him, so it
Yeah.
makes sense. He's 6 worker, as you called it, Tofma also.
But
Pavided
Fenway
looks
has to
very
be done.
unsure where he wants to place this Halo. He's really lining things up, taking his time.
You know,
I like it though.
Halo's not usually your answer.
I like it. I
Alright,
like
you
it.
see the circle and you're like, I don't know. Because when you're very far on top, sometimes you drag a bit more, but he's alright. The spawning point is a bit further up, so you should.
Yeah. Should be just fine.
And yeah, here's the Sea Dragon just doing what it does best on wave 5, perfectly tanking the boss, staying alive, dealing extra DPS, keeping this thing healthy as well. What a juicer. I mean, it's only an income send, but yeah, Sea Dragon just pairs so nicely.
I mean, currently both teams are quite happy with how the early game went. I mean, Pavided and Fine, they took Castle. They're quite fine with a lot of income early, so the waves are a bit quicker. But Rasher and Lucy managed to push the extra worker to have the extra aggression, so their scaling is a bit better also. So they managed to keep up with the mid game of Castle still with those masterminds.
Yeah, yeah.
And
They-
Jack rerolled now.
They are
yes,
somewhat on the pressure back foot, though. They've gone for another round of income sends here, while Pavided and Fine are stockpiling their bricks. So we might see some action coming up on one of the next couple of waves, right?
Yeah, I mean, Drak is looking really good until wave 8. Now that he has this Canopy, he actually has single target, so wave 7 is not really something where you could actually, like, kind of abuse Archer being weaker than it should be. But Lucy, I mean, her wave 7 is not as good. Obviously, the Siren she just rolled is quite good there, but
Yeah.
I would expect, yeah, just income.
It's just income coming out from Pavided and Fine. They don't feel the need to force the issue. Although, actually, that being said, this does seem somewhat more of a passive game than what we had on the stream yesterday.
I mean, the builds are quite solid all around. The Scallywog opener was a bit how do you call it? Like something that's tight on the gold department for Pavided.
Yeah.
So a lot of income is required for that.
Yeah. Fair. Fine gets his banana bunk out here as well.
I mean, if they would have expected a income, that would have allowed them to push hard for 9.
Yeah.
But now they don't get the income. Do they still go for 9? It's still possible. I mean, Archer's not the greatest, and Zerker also not the greatest.
Yeah.
Going to 10 workers here. He's actually... Man, I don't think he can get a bump for next, so he's not looking that good. And Lucy did save, so... I wonder if there's, like, some sort of opening here.
Fine's pretty great on wave 8 though, right? And Drakir
Yeah.
doesn't have too much Mythium staved up, so Fine maybe would be able to cover his teammate. And they just are pressuring that wave 9, as you mentioned. Like every unit on the board of both Drakir and Lucy is weak on 9 so far.
Yeah, Drakir is going for income, but Lucy...
Continues to
Going for the
save. Okay.
I guess it
Interesting.
feels like Pawaited won't be able to recover his value by wave 9. And like
No.
here he might actually do okay with the right unit.
Yeah, I mean, he's just adding another crap Warlock, which, I mean, fine, it's maybe the best thing that he can do, but it's really weak on wave 9.
And Drak looks like he's just going to take the leak on wave 9 if it comes to that. I mean, he has Hardened Mudmen there, but he's just pushed to 15 workers
Yeah.
using
mean-
Lucy starving.
That's a very good position for Drasher. Like, yes, he might leak 9, but 15 workers, and he's going for income solo. So that means that he doesn't have as much pressure from Pavided, but he's still managing to get his income up. So it's a team play that Lucy keeps the pressure on Pavided to allow Drasher a lesser leak on 9. Basically.
Yeah. I would expect Pawaited to go for, yeah. I don't actually know about Mole. I think Double Brute makes more sense personally. Like Mole versus just the Archer versus Brutes to try to counteract the good unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Brute would have made a bit more sense than the Mole, but the Mole is still good
Yeah,
all
it's still
around.
there.
I don't think
It's
the
still
mole into
powerful.
Lucy is very good though. Like the only thing the mole is doing is countering these tempests, and they're not really
Yeah.
a factor on wave 9 anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think her unit quality is probably still too low to hold. But maybe if the Slime Siren and the Zerker have like really nice aggro, you can generate a lot of free value.
Yeah.
But Lucy got the memo and know that brutes are quite good.
Yeah, that's a lot of brutes. 4 of them, in fact, in Pavided's lane. Now, fine, he is overvalued. He will be covering for his teammate here, but this should be a bit of a leak. Let's go over here. What are we looking at? Oh, the mole is already dead. But that's still a pretty big leak here for FC Lucy, however. Pavided, that's a 79% for him. 3 of those brutes surviving, reaching the middle. But again, his teammate fine. Has a bunch of value still alive in the mid to be able to counter that. Drakir, how are you doing? He is holding. That's clutch. So now...
That's most workers.
Yeah, holding with the most workers. That's a juicer. But exactly like you said, Shadow, the fact that Lucy was pressuring Pavided meant that the send Drakir received was tiny. It was mole plus 1 snail, and it just was nowhere near enough to break through.
Yeah, for sure. And he just doesn't overpush here.
Yeah. The great thing was, though, that Fine was able to fully cover Pavided's leak there, so no king damage whatsoever on the side of Rampampam. Barnes Kieran, they have shaved off a little bit of HP, but not too much, and now Drakir's on fire.
Yeah, and he's overtaken the bonus income also that comes from Castle afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh,
He is
wow, yeah.
Astro ahead.
Oh, holy, yeah, I looked at that and I thought, surely Pavided just has a bunch of Mythium stored up, right? But no, he really is just that far behind.
He has he has Egg in an Embargo game as well, and it makes sense that Pavided tries to go for the shutdown here. Double D hardened, and it's always worth the try.
It's worth a try, but I mean, this combo on wave 10 is so much damage. Dark Mage Trinity Archer just melting that boss's HP. The Dark Mage is even going to tank and get one more spell off. Yeah, it's just not even close to being enough to get that shutdown. It would have been nice though. And now Drakir is pulling even further ahead. Look at this gap in the power score.
And Embargo play for Drakir with the egg on top of it also.
Yep, and if he wants to play it safe, he can harden here because he's so strong on wave 12.
And he doesn't want an Adam's egg, so that's good.
Yeah.
He really doesn't want one.
Okay, interesting. So we've got both players going for embargo eggs. It looks like they're both going to be unpunished. So at least they both do it, you know? Like if one of the players does that and the other one doesn't, then obviously the egg player is favored.
The small difference is one of them has 30 more income and 3 more workers while doing it, but
yeah.
I mean, the egg is something. It gives you a chance. Like if you don't have egg in this game, like there's actually nothing to do.
Yeah. Pavided's power spike, as you were saying, has caught him up exactly with Drakir. However, he is still 3 workers behind. So, wait, Drakir, have you been taking egg lessons from Adams?
Wait.
It's close. The Dark Mage buff gives it a ton of extra damage.
Is it the 1v1?
I think it's a 1v1.
1v1.
I think the egg wins this. The egg wins this.
I mean, it is a long way for them having higher workers.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucy is making it longer, so.
Wow.
I mean,
That was crazy. That was about as close as it could possibly get for Drakir's egg.
Whoops.
But I mean, now that we have embargo, I think it's quite clear to say that it's gonna be 14 sent by everybody. I don't think 13 is gonna be it against 2 eggs.
No,
Lucy's also have every single unit on her board being good on 13, so probably 14 is better.
This is such a chaos build. Like, good units, good auras, all in the right places.
We just haven't upgraded anything yet.
Yeah, they haven't upgraded anything exactly. Lots of good quality units, no power spikes.
Now the question is, who fares better on 14? I must say, I think it's Drescher by a long, shot.
I think he does have the best 14 build. Pretty much the only one who has no weak units on 14, besides the egg.
Oh, Drakir and Lucy are going for 13 though.
Wait, is that a Trodo? Priestess, if tanking well, can do...
But the egg is hatching here, right? Like,
the egg is hatching here, yeah. Fine is going to be very close to value.
If he doesn't adjust his split, he's going to full hit a Kraken, which is pretty bad.
Watch her.
And maybe Viaziria can die? I mean, no, not with this Buzz, right? This should be close enough.
And he's not adjusting his split.
Azuriah should be tanking too.
Yeah, I guess Drac felt like he can still be leaked here.
Won't the brutes kill the Aziria though?
There's a chance, yeah, for sure.
There is a
Back
chance,
roots.
yes.
The addition of those 5 brutes, there might even be a 6th one coming to join the
Sixth
party.
one.
There is. Oh, I think this Aziria, she's tanking a lot. A 2+1 brute. Okay, this could be survive angle. Heal.
It's close for sure.
Yeah, but she's attacking the wrong target.
Oh
Guys,
no.
that's,
She's attacking the wrong. She didn't defend herself. The priestess is down. This will be a massive leak here for Pavided. Absolutely crazy.
Doesn't adjust the split, full hit
143%.
Kraken.
Aye,
Wow,
good
really
read by
good call.
Lucian Drashir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it like made sense, right? Drac even pushed a little bit to no sense. And he just felt like he, even though he's plus 70, or like he'd probably be on value, but his units aren't actually that good on 13.
I mean, this is just infinite damage here on wave 13. Wow. Are they dead?
100 to 0?
Is this 100 to
It's
0?
infinite.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I mean,
It
they
was
even had
tense.
some king upgrades.
Wow.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, what?
I
mean,
I definitely didn't expect it either. That was literally 100 to 0 with 7 king upgrades from Fine and Pavided. I don't think anyone expected that, but I guess mercenaries
Yeah,
are just
I would say
deadly.
that- I'd say Drakir and Lucy probably didn't expect to win the game there either.
Yeah. I mean, they would have been in an extremely
Yeah.
good spot regardless, right?
yeah.
Because even if they survive there on like 1% HP or whatever, they've just given so much gold away here to Drakir and Lucy on wave 13. Like hundreds, literally hundreds of gold going over to the side of Barnes Kieran. So, look, they would have been in a bad spot, but I don't think anyone expected them to just straight up die there on 13. That's pretty wild.
I mean, especially with the egg hatching, it's so much extra value, so surprising. Like,
Yeah.
it's enough. It's just enough to leak to kill them.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to that Aziria, right, from Pavided. If
Yeah.
that Aziria defends herself, then they don't die. I mean, they're still leaking huge, but they would live to see another wave. However, like this, obviously we saw the Aziria go down, and that 143% leak from Pavided turns out to be deadly. So very, very well played though from Drakir and Lucy. You love to see it. Drakir with a very heavy worker push, the most workers in the game, and like you said, he did push a couple of workers to no send as well, just to make sure that he could add those imps onto the end of his Kraken send. And look, it was enough. It was enough to win the game. So very well played, Barnes Kieran. They're now 1-0 in the lead.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean game. Kind of took advantage of the castle a little bit, like indirectly. It's like obviously you couldn't know for sure, but Pavided had to send a bit more than you probably want to. And then with the YOLO player receiving, like it's just not easy, but it's open for him to take those aggressive plays. And Lucy also did a really good job saving on Pavided to
Yeah.
enable that 9 play.
It's a play that Lucy did that goes under the radar, but it was so important for Drashir to hold 9 with 15 workers.
Yeah, that was huge. He did very well there, but exactly what you were saying, Shadow. As asynchronous sending will win this Nova Cup, right? And that's
Yeah.
we saw a perfect example of it here from Barnes Kieran. Lucy just piling on the pressure onto Pavided, which then in turn alleviates the pressure onto Drakir, so he can push really hard workers, still hold the send because it's obviously much less Mythium coming out from Pavided, and just pop off in the game, and we saw it executed perfectly here. So we're going to have to see, can Fine and Pavided pull things back in game number 2? We are about to find out, guys. There's no hanging about with these players. Game number 2, let's go!
And super defensive spells again. No potential.
Oh,
Yes,
I complete 180, eh?
but what if Drakir picks it here as well?
Wow. The Fiesta
With
counter.
Kingsguard, normally they don't go
I think
Fiesta,
they would
from what
probably
I've
go
seen.
Greed, Cartel, or the Cash Out, just something standard.
Hmm.
Wow.
Oof, okay.
Whoops.
That's a bit rough now.
I guess he was going for the read that they also play like Castle and Slow Income.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this.
But I mean, they
this is
are
like
very
the-
much in a position now where they have to win by like
Yeah.
wave 11, right? For Fine
I
and
mean-
Pavided, because
Fine technically has the Astral role as well with Cartel, so he can actually
that's
maybe scale into the game, but Yeah, it's
The
a pretty
tricky part
crazy
is
build.
the Fiesta role. He goes for the
Yeah.
Atom. Fiesta is a bit tricky to execute in the early game if you want to really have those small leaks.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, the Howler, pretty nice to pair with them. He doesn't have like that cheap arcane tank as well, though.
oh,
Wow.
Yeesh. So what wave do we say that is problematic in this meta? I don't
Unfortunately, I can't
remember.
ping it right now.
I know we're going to say Wave 6 Shadow, but having said that, he does have the perfect unit that he can just pop above ground to cover him on that Wave 6.
Yeah, that's true. The pack rat actually helps.
It does help, but the issue is that if the pressure is high enough,
Yeah.
like if you predict it's 5 instead,
Hmm.
and you go full 5 defenses, then you're weaker on 6 because the Pilgrim is very good on 5, especially with good positioning, but then it's harder to protect on 6. So it's that trade, it's that problematic that you have with high pressure now.
It's a trade-off.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but yes.
We'll see if Drac even goes for a snail here. Because I,
I mean,
think Povita should hold no
he
set.
does go
Okay,
for a
he does.
snail, yeah. So Pavidad a little bit rewarded there for the Howler edition.
The
Yeah,
5 head.
definitely.
He could probably even add another Atom now.
The ideal case is go 6 workers, and I do think you're right that he gets the extra atom if he goes 6 workers too.
Lucy also playing Nightmare. Not quite the Nightmare role that Fine has, but
I just
it's
missed
a-
one.
It's
50% leak. He would have liked one more creep there, I think.
for sure.
Yeah, Lucy's Nightmare role is not bad, but obviously it's nowhere near as good as Fine's with the Nightmare Butcher, with the Oathbreaker, with the Dark Mage potential as well. Good Arcane tank to boot. The only thing he's missing is magic damage.
Yeah, I mean, one player is building a veteran, the other player is building an Oathbreaker, and one of those units is a lot better on wave 5.
Yep.
And even wave 6, so.
Yeah, Lucy does have
Oh,
options
wait.
for 5 and 6, though. She has both the Berserker and the Samurai.
Yeah,
It's
for
not really
sure.
the position I expected from the atom for Pavidad.
Yeah, he goes for the second column
quite
one.
far
I've seen
back.
some people like that. I mean, it's like the idea is like the third column one always dies to the split, and this one has a chance to not randomly die to the split. But I mean, it's still split tanks, so could be worse. I think it's not bad as well because it can focus fire usually
Yeah.
more of the time.
His Fiesta leaks are a bit too much for my liking. 42% on 1, 50 on 2, 50 on 3. I mean, like, sure, it's Fiesta.
It's the danger of the atom. Like the atom is pretty good, but you need the front line, and it's just in the early game you don't really have it, but you want to push. So it's just like it's very tricky, and that's why when you have cheat tanks, that's where it shines the most. Right now you only have Howler, which is not great on 3, so that's why
Yeah.
you see a larger leak here happening.
Yeah, something like a Pee-wee Garg would have just smoothed that curve over.
But now the save begin, and now it's 5 and 6. Drescher and Lucy should be aware of that. I mean, it's not rocket science here.
Yeah. It's honestly a pretty risky hunt, but he'll be fine.
Since 5 and 6 is so important, it's a
Yeah.
good read of the meta by Drescher. It's just 4 is not happening here. It's like it could catch him off guard, but it's not something that is game winning for
Yeah.
Pavidad and 5.
It seems like 5 is kind of forced from everyone. I mean, I don't think anyone has the value to hold a power merc then if they skip, so.
Yeah, indeed. Power mercs are the problem. If there's no power merc, Pavidad is in a good position to do well with a
Yeah.
good Fiesta against Zinka.
For sure.
But against power merc, no indeed.
And
Here are those
skip.
power
Wow.
mercs.
I mean, fine. I definitely think this could do something disgusting, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
this lane, I don't think. I think it's a leak. It's more of a question of how big and whether or not Fine holds, right?
I
Oh,
mean,
Pavidad is
this-
definitely leaking. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the Scorpion King dies. It's how many little Scorpion that dies with it now.
Yeah, probably not too many, because the send is quite big coming out here. We've got 100 Mythium into both lanes, double Robo Snail, matching sends from Drakir and Lucy. Oh, and this is bad focus. Look at this. The Howler's attacking a random snail instead of the Scorpion King. However, the Atom does still
Yeah,
survive.
that was
That's very
close.
clutch indeed. But it's still going to be a big leak here from
I
Pavided. Look
don't
at
think
this.
This is a hold.
72% there. And it's not a hold from Fine either, the Oathbreaker. Or is it?
Wait,
No, I think the Nightmare dies on its way up to the Robos, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it does. Okay, 22% leak from Fine there. However, on top of the 72% from his teammate Pavided, this is going to be some serious king damage. We've seen how much 2 Brutes on wave 4 can do. What about 4 Robos on 5?
Yeah,
Mimic.
Mimic is gonna be hard to hold with, even with the Zerker.
Yeah, they are getting a lot of gold here, though.
Yeah, I guess it'll be how much do they give back?
35% king damage dealt here on wave 5 by Barnes Kieran. They do seem to be speedrunning this semi-final. This counter-attack send here from Fine and Pavided has got to get a lot of work done here against Barnes Kieran. Otherwise,
I think you can guarantee the Mimic going through. I don't think I've ever seen anyone kill the Mimic on wave 6.
yeah.
But how many Rockos, I guess, is the important question. And
Look at their value though, Offmer. Like
Yeah.
the amount of gold they got from those leaks on 5. Drakir has 710 value here on wave 6.
nice split tanking with the
Yeah.
Pilgrim. And
But now everything's getting focused by 5 Brokos at
Yeah.
a time, which is not ideal.
no kind of split focus, unfortunately. And I mean, he's focusing the Brute with all his units at least. So
And Lucy,
kill
like you
all the
say, the
Brutes.
Mimic will go through.
Wait, the 2
Oh.
Brutes got sniped.
yeah,
59% for Lucy.
Probably half the wave then in the Robo.
He's not going to get one more, right? No, 61% from
Close.
Drakir.
But no Brutes means that the king damage should be around. They should go to 70% king HP. That
Yeah.
Brute is a huge difference maker on wave 6 because it slows the attack speed of the king.
Well, they have Kingsguard as well, right?
Kingsguard as well.
And a few king
I mean,
upgrades,
with
which...
Kingsguard. Jeez.
Oh, it's still so much
Like
damage.
it's the same king
Wow.
damage, and they're going for Brutes
Ooh.
again.
That's
They
kind of
pushed hard
spicy.
also.
If Drakir thinks
Yeah.
he's safe, and he does, he goes for a double hunt here on wave 7. He's minus 90. I mean, he has got this Cage of Pain, obviously a very good unit on wave 7. Not really countered by Brutes either. But it's a big send. The rest of his
Yeah.
units are not ideal.
I mean, double Brute is still a huge threshold. I mean, he's getting 180 it into 120
Yeah.
recent.
And,
It's pretty
by the
crazy.
way, the units are not good against Brute currently.
Yeah.
That Drashir has.
Yeah, the guy. I mean, these little guys are pretty good versus Brute.
Yeah,
they're
but
already
look how
dead.
many shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The casket gets off 1 spell, 2 spells. It won't get a 3rd. That thing is down.
Yeah. That's
These
a pretty
Brutes, they
weak
just
pick.
want hugs, guys.
I mean, that's a nice reset.
That's a really nice resend. Very, very good attempt here from Fine and Pavida to bring themselves back in the game. I think it's going to be successful. 68% leak there from Drakir. Lucy is doing much better, but she
Yeah,
still leaks. That's a 30% from her. And with these 12 creeps, including 3 Brutes on the King, that's another chunk of King HP lost on the side of Barnes Kieran.
Okay, if we have a game changer, I'm gonna tell you, Penny, so that you're not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, their king is getting lower and lower. Lucy going for a tryhard son of her own now. Going for
Okay,
the
we don't
pack.
have the game changer banner, so that's something.
Well, they're still not ahead on the Julesometer, right? So Rempampan, they've closed the gap a lot. They had a 20% win chance on wave 5 or 6, and now they're at 46. So they've more than doubled their chances of winning this game with that 6 and 7 send. They still have to survive this counter blow
yeah.
from Barnes Kieran, though.
We almost kind of forgot that Drakir's castle and Finance cartel just because of how even the game state felt.
Yeah. I mean, they might just die here.
They might.
They could.
I mean,
I
the
want to
pack
say
is...
Paweeded is fine, but
Well, the Oathbreaker pops off. It is going to kill the pack leader
my
pretty
God.
quickly with the
Yeah,
lifesteal
that's
as well.
That's the key. That's the key.
Oh, the pack leader dies very, very
God.
quick.
it's an
Yeah, that's a
asshole.
hold.
Oh, the Oathbreaker. That was fantastic there from Fine. Very juicy positioning, which is great because his teammate will be leaking here. 42%.
That's a juicy fiesta.
Yeah,
I wonder
huge
if, like,
hold there
Full
from
Brute
Fine.
was better than Pack Brute. I know she got only 160 in income, but hard to say. Obviously, like
It's just too tempting to pass up on the pack leader, right? You have that
Yeah.
160 Mythium pre-income. It looks very good against what Fine has on the board, but then his Giga Breaker just absolutely smurfs the wave.
But that's the
little bit.
difference, right? Because if Find has enough gold to go for the double, it's something that cannot kill the pack leader as fast as
Yeah.
this final form Wolfbreaker.
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah,
So
not just a
it's a
final
huge
form, but a
difference.
lifesteal final form as well. And that's pretty
Oh yeah,
good value when it has the 35% damage reduction, right?
definitely.
For
I
sure.
mean, especially when you target a fortified armor mercenary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of brought back the game completely for them. I mean, I think that will basically
Well, they're ahead
that
now.
would be a game changer.
Yeah, they're ahead now. Jules has given them 63%.
He's minus 110 holding that, so basically it saves his game. No punish
They could
points.
have literally died there if Fine
Yeah.
had leaked, right? Like they, without any
Yeah.
king up, 65% left. The Send were pretty dangerous.
But now it's quite tricky position because now we have defensive spells for 11, and we have a Kingpin player with Castle and Drashir, with also the Pilgrims. So we're looking towards 13, 14. But then it's how you approach it. When do you stop the income? It looks like the income's gonna stop on 10, but there might be one income king on 11. But if one team decide to skip that income on 11, they will have the agency on what wave they're gonna go.
Yeah.
Drakir and Lucy have maxed their king regen, so they want to, well, try and come back into the game in the long term, it seems, and they definitely have the masterminds for that. Castle obviously very, very good into the late game, and Kingsguard just pairs so nicely with it as well, right? Because obviously your king just can survive things that others can't.
For sure.
And with the value of Fine currently shown on 10, does he go for the income or does he just skip? I mean, he has the value, but he is Cartel, so Cartel player tends to income on 11 a little bit more than normal players.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot. I
Fine's
think
pushing
he
to no
wants
sense.
save.
Only
They're
one
both
worker.
sleeping.
Yeah. Makes sense to push now. I think he's just realized he needs the doppel to make his build smooth, so
Mhm.
yeah.
But what this says to me is that people are spotting 13.
Yeah, I think it looks like straight 13 for everybody. And Polita does have, I mean, every single unit in his role is good on 13 besides the one man, so
Yeah.
he really wants that wave to happen. I mean, the thing is, everyone has pretty good 13 rolls. Lucy has like Hero, OT, Feta, Doppel.
With
Yeah.
Hero as well, right? Like
Yeah.
Hero is really good on Fatalizers now that it gives attack speed instead of damage.
And this is shown.
Soldiers.
This is shown.
Yeah, I wonder if that makes Drac want to send 12 just by himself. But I mean, it's pretty risky with the king being low.
Now with
I mean,
this,
mid game is all. It's all pretty risky right now because you have good mid-game synergies into Doppel with
Yeah.
lifesteal. So everything you do is gonna be very consequential. It's just making the right call at the right time right now.
right. Look at this income discrepancy now that the Castle Cartel
Yeah.
swing has happened. Fine, who was keeping up extremely well. I mean, obviously he was ahead with his cartel in the early game. He's now nearly 100 income behind Drakir with that cartel.
Obviously,
Cancel
it's
spike.
Hero versus the investment, but
Yeah,
it's still
true,
a huge
true.
gap. It's
The-
still a
the
huge
investment.
gap in terms of the raw number.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still have two trader on, so Drashir is actually
Yeah.
overvalued currently.
Yeah, that's
I wonder
wild.
if he just like.
He's by
are
far
they
the
gonna
lowest
skip
workers,
the
though.
team?
I mean, they might, right? When they see these values.
I mean, currently it feels like players are just trying to chicken out the other team.
It would take some guts for
Ah,
Fine and
income
Pavida to
king,
skip
wow.
13 this time around after they remember what happened to them last game.
Yeah, the drill golems are scary, but they're not sending.
I mean, it's only income coming out from Drakir. Here's the full send from
yeah.
Fine and Pavida. Okay,
They
yeah.
had all the brutes queued up at the last second.
I mean, that's a lot of brutes. That's a lot of brutes, guys. 14 of those guys looking for
That's the
hugs.
problem.
All said and done.
It's a huge problem for me because you see this, and you go full brutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not convinced that it's the best send, but maybe they panicked kind of last second, decided they want to send.
The
And they
best
just-
send here would have been pack full Robos.
Actual rolls, yeah, I can see that for sure.
I think they're too focused on their brutes. I know Fine is a huge believer, but sometimes you need to look, and when there's a lot of swift armor, might not be the best.
Yeah, you do have to pull up the typing chart now and then. But if
Yes.
this works, then I'm sending brutes every turn.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The brutes in Drakir's lane are just instantly dead.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of eating like the star color shots, but I mean the Gate Guard got another summon. Yeah,
Lucy's
it's
leaking pretty
chill.
huge here. Fatalizer is doing good, but not quite enough. That's
Yeah.
83% for
He's
her.
held.
Drakir, though, this looks like a full hold from him.
Fine also held a full send.
Yeah, that's good.
He
So
built
it's only
full
Lucy that
bodies.
leaks.
Oh, he has a lot of Bone Warriors. Holy
Yeah,
moly.
I mean, it's
Look at
pretty good
this.
against the Four Eyes, I'll say that.
Yeah, that's true.
They will still get some
Still
decent
kicking
king
them
damage
out.
here. The Brutes doing work against the king.
They're pushing. It looks like they want to play for. It's like.
It's
know.
quite tricky because I mean I see 15 being possible, but
But how do you leak track? Like you actually have to. He would have to push full right now, and it feels
Yeah.
more like 16 at this
I mean,
point.
look what Drakir and Lucy are doing. They just haven't pushed workers. They are
push it.
shifting a ton of gold here. So if Fine and Pavida do commit to that wave 15 send, Lucy and Drakir have a pretty decent shot of surviving there.
Okay, what I want to see is that Fine and Pavette still commit to the 16 play. However, it's quite difficult to make that call with that high of a push, and he's keep pushing. He's at 29 currently,
Yeah.
so it feels like they're gonna try and force that 15. But looking at Drakir's build and his value, and knowing he has 2 treasure hunts, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
feel
feels
great.
kinda yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he's already on value whilst also shifting 500 gold, you know, like if Fine and Pavida do send 15, it's just going to be a killing blow for them, I think. As in,
Oh no.
in favour of
Oh.
Barnes Kieran.
I mean, this could be good for them if they for their 15 play. Definitely gonna make Drac and Lucy think as well.
Drakir's just
With-
going to
with
be on
500 gold in
3.6k
the bank.
value.
Yeah, maybe he's not gonna think that hard.
Oh, Ram
Yeah,
Pam Pam
no,
do
oh,
save!
thing.
Okay,
Oh my god.
that is
I mean, the
balls
thing
of
is,
steel from the
They're
Polish
gonna
duo.
they're gonna be lower value on when it comes to the 16 race for sure. And the thing is, I mean, like the sending, the way they pushed is correct, but I don't know if Poeta can hold anything on 16. Like his units have good typings, but they're not actually that good on 16 in terms of damage. So feels like he's lacking just the true carry to actually hold 16.
Drakir showing his full value now, 3.7k on 15.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Pavlet pushed too much for that play.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Like, they have to. He kind of has to hold, because. I mean, if Fine is going to be the one to break for here. Well, he's not going for Brutes this time. He figured out that the Pierce typing is actually a bit better versus the Swift units.
It's good. We're learning throughout the Nova Cup. That's good.
The Weeded's still going for his pack a million Brutes against the like big carry build from Lucy.
I think it's pretty good against Lucy, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
It makes more sense against
Whoa!
Lucy than...
I just realized they skipped.
Wait, what?
That's wild. They are maxing the
Wait,
king,
wait.
though.
Yeah, I
You
think-
can still die on 16.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Quite
like-
high damage.
I'm not convinced that Drac holds and covers. Like, because I think Lucy will leak.
I mean, what Thresher is missing is Pierce damage. I mean, there's a lot of value into that in those
Yeah.
two.
I
The
mean, I
Star
guess
Color.
he
But
kind of has like the Star Color circle, but yeah, I feel like again, yeah, he's lacking like a true hard carry. But I mean, all his units are good, so
Well, let's
I will
find out.
see.
That's a big send. 800 Mythium for Drakir, 600 for FC Lucy. I mean, they have 69% HP. It is nearly a fully upgraded king. The leaks will have to be pretty decent to kill them here. But Lucy definitely looks like a big leak from her. Let's pop back over to Drakir. This looks like a big one from him as well.
is it big enough?
Now, we're about to find out because look, this is 72% from Lucy. This is 100% from Drakir as well. There's 21 creeps reaching the king. I mean, it's a lot,
I
but they have been
know.
regenning as well. Oh, and it's Kingsguard, guys!
Yeah, Kingsguard.
Kingsguard, but yeah,
Oh,
what I
yeah.
want to say, the huge difference here is that there's no pack leader. With pack leader, this is a different story.
They do survive, and it's not even close. 21% there.
Game changer.
Oh,
Game changer. Fine and Pavida, they
uh,
do go for the income king here. They will still both be a little bit undervalued, but not terribly. They should be able to get full king upgrades as well. However, we
look
did
fine,
see
I think.
Pavida harden his modmen last wave. He'll be able to build some new ones and harden here as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I want.
full
Yeah, go
trees,
go
right?
first. Go first.
I was just gonna say he needs to build full trees, right? I mean, I feel like I wouldn't even bother gambling with or like trying to hedge with the King Claw, just because there's no way they're sending 18 into Pawidid's build.
Yeah. I mean,
I
Pavida
wanna
is
say is
basically
that-
on value with 2 hardened golems here. Like,
Yeah, exactly. The game changer was for Fine and Pavida.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Blues is having 73% currently.
Well, the thing is, we really see the impact of the bounty gold changes, right? So they got so much gold from those leaks on 16, even though they didn't kill them, which obviously was their main goal. They got a bunch of money from it.
Yeah, they're not holding.
They're not holding. That's 87% for
They're
Vine.
alive, though, is the
That's
question.
100% from Pavida. A lot of it is these Froggos, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just...
I'm horrible at calculating 17 because every time I think I'm alive, I'm dead, and every time I think I'm dead, I'm alive.
Now, another spell. The witches
it
are all
looks
dead.
like
The Froggos are all dead.
It looks like Liv and Gold.
One more spell.
So,
They do survive. Wow.
now,
Another
Now I
game
guess
changer.
Another game changer. Okay. I mean, I can hear it, actually. I hear the game changer sound effect. It's just not in my files anymore, so the big orange thing is gone.
looks like Vine is suiciding for 19.
I mean,
And
it makes
Pavida
sense
will
against
try and delay.
Rashir.
It makes sense, especially
the
because
problem.
Pavida is super
Yeah.
strong on 19.
And Drakir is changing his build. He was building his auras, but realized it's probably 19, so he's swapping to full
Mhm.
alpha males.
19
I mean,
is
he's
pretty
not
deadly.
bad there. Like he does have like Starkov is good on every wave late game, and he has the tanks.
Yeah.
But holding a Sui is not easy.
I mean, Drakir is very comfortably overvalued, though. Like, he's 240 over already. He has 140 shifted as well. He has by far the highest income in the game. The question is whether they go for the send themselves on 19, right? They can
Really?
see that Fine is big undervalued.
Yeah, it's a hard call, but I feel like the logical play from the other team has to be 19, so you should send.
Yeah, they do go. They do go. Drakir and
Yeah.
Lucy are sending here.
It's gonna be tricky. I mean, I think Pavida has the highest delay, if I'm not mistaken.
Golems for sure.
Yeah. Well, Fine is full suicide pushing as well, right? He's he's going to add like 1 tree. Okay, fine. But yeah, look at this with Pavida with the full hardened golem army. He should have the most delay, and obviously Orchid Shuriken boost is really value as well,
I
right?
would sell all those little atoms to boost.
Yeah. Just put everything
Yes.
into your Orchids. It's really worth.
I mean, it's the huge thing that Drasher was forced to build extensively for 16 to do well
Yeah.
on it,
Mhm.
and that's the cost of those Arctairs and those
Yeah.
Usoras.
The thing is, they're not even that bad late game if they, they're behind other units, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
like the attack
they
speed
can
slow
make
is
attack
still
speed slow.
value, right?
Pretty important in a race situation.
Well, guys,
Like-
speaking of races, everything comes down to this. We've got 720 for Fine, 700 for Pavida, 680 for Lucy, but Drakir, lane 3, this is what it all comes down to. He receives 1180. He has to hold longer than Pavida here if they want to win the game, but he does get a much bigger send than anybody else in the game. Fine, of course, leaks everything. He was full suicide pushed. That's to be expected. Drakir is doing remarkably well. Pavida, is Pavida just full holding here? I think he is.
That's the best delay. The best delay is holding.
But yeah, sure. You're right. Lucy leaks 46%, Drakir 68%. Pavida doesn't have much value alive, though. This will go down very quickly. The leak will reach the king not long after. I think they're going to lose this one.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. The best delay,
Yeah,
actually, for
right.
Pavida would have been to leak 1 creep very
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not even sure Lucy and Drakir were dead with Kingsguard and so little leaks.
Damn.
You might be
That's
right.
aggressive.
You might be right. They did extremely well there. Drakir 68% against the full suicide push, and Lucy 46% as well. That's crazy. To be fair, they both had very good builds for Wave 19,
Yeah.
but even so, the performance there phenomenal from Drakir and Lucy, and as a result, they've just 2-0'd their semi-final. So Ram Pam Pam, unfortunately, they are now out of the tournament, while Barnes Kieran have earned their spot in the grand final.
Wow.
The other side.
Oh,
But
Atrocity
yeah,
still in game?
Atrocity still in game?
Othma was inspired by Bon Jovi that wanted Dead or Alive, but they got shattered through the heart, right?
Oh no, that game has
Why,
just
they just
ended as
finished.
well. That
Right?
game has
Let's go
just
away.
ended at
Right,
exactly the same time. So Chaos
Ooh.
Chemists have been knocked out by Team Kusa. So it
Wait,
looks
what,
like we
really?
have a
Crazy.
brand new matchup in this grand final. It will be Team Kusa, Isolde and Adams, facing off against Barnes Kieran, Drakir and Lucy. I mean, guys, this might just be an absolute speedrun of the Nova Cup finals, it seems. Both semis ending 2-0. And with fast games as well. That's a Wave 13 win from Kusa, and we saw a Wave 13 from Barnes Kieran earlier as well, right?
Yeah. First losses for Atrocity as a whole.
Wow.
I think, looking back at the game a little bit, I think Atrocity overcooked a little bit. I don't know. I see Casket at the last last throw.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Yeah, maybe overcooked
Ah.
here.
Yeah, the don't have to add on one casket positioning.
Yeah, the problem is that it's very hard to develop your build from that spot
Yeah.
afterwards.
Because you just have a casket on the back row, yeah. Not ideal. But, I mean, guys, we have a bit of time to pad, right? Because we've just been sat here with the fastest games on record. So how are you guys feeling about the meta so far? I mean, it's definitely fast and aggressive. Are you enjoying the games?
Yeah,
I mean, we definitely see the strategies, and the players are forced to think extensively about
Hmm.
what they're gonna do, and I mean, it's very very beneficial for the game. But I'm quite surprised to see those 2-0s. I mean, this game even we felt like Pavidad and Fine made the right move to come back into it,
Yeah.
but there was always that right counterpunch as well. I mean, two game changers in one game. What can you ask, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah, for
they
sure.
were what, like 20% to win in the early game, and then we saw that big wave 6, big wave 7, bring them back into the game, and then from there was a lot of jostling back and forth in the mid game until this eventual, the wave 16 play was great from them. They got a ton of gold. It enabled them to survive the wave 17 from Drakir and Lucy, but unfortunately they just didn't have quite enough steam to carry their victory there on wave 19 with Barnes Kieran taking it. And that is actually the longest game as well that we've had so far on the stream, right? Including all of the games yesterday. I don't think we saw Wave 19 at all. Maybe we
I
had
saw
one.
Wave 20.
You had a 20, did you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we
Drakir and
didn't have a
Lucy got to
20.
20 yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, so we can still get some longer games as well, despite the big Merc patch of 2024.
Yeah.
So that's pretty juicy to see. But guys, Twitch chat, we will be back in around 10 minutes time for those grand finals. So make sure you stick around. They are going to be super fun to watch, I think. And just to keep you entertained while we have a little bit of a break, I've got another one of Nick Tier's best hits, our musical memer from the Legion community. This one, very fitting for the current patch, by the way. This is fast and aggressive. So guys, enjoy the song, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes time. Until then. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the song. That one's an absolute banger. And look, the semi-finals were certainly fast and aggressive, so very, very fitting music there indeed. But Shadow, I think you've got a bit of a different opinion of how the grand finals are going to go. So can we get some predictions from you on what you think is going to be different this time around?
We've seen like aggressive stuff with some Fiesta from Pavita this game. It didn't really work out. We know Drescher can pull it out, but when you look back at the games from Adams and Isolde, their strength is their early game stability, and they use that stability to catch the opponent over pushing, and then they catch them on 6 or 7 with big sense. That's the strength of Adams. So I think we're gonna see a lot of scaling masterminds like Redraw, Chaos, Kingsguard, which is not a lot of early aggression due to the strength of both teams to be very stable early game. So we are pretty much guaranteed to go past 10 every single game, unless we're later into the series where there are fewer masterminds available.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes a lot of sense, and Conquest really fulfilling its purpose there to force different play styles through the grand final best of 5. So yeah, that could definitely happen. I know one thing for sure, guys. Whatever happens, it's going to be an exciting set of games. We've got 4 of the very best players of all time in this grand finals. 3 of them are in Jules's top 10 list, by the way. Drakir, Lucy, both in there. Adam's in there as well. So poor little bro Isolde didn't quite make the cut, unfortunately, but he's a damn good player in his own right, that's for sure. And this is going to be a pretty exciting finals. Offmer, have you got any predictions on this one?
I'll go Drakir and Lucy in 5 games.
In 5 games, okay. So 3-2 for Barnes Kieran.
Yeah.
All right. Shadow?
I mean, it's hard to not predict 5 games due to the similarity of the playstyles. But with how momentum is important, I'm afraid I have to say it might be 3-1 for one of the teams, but it's gonna be 3-1 for the team that wins the first game of the series.
Okay, that's it. That's an interesting one. So you don't know which team it is yet, but whoever wins game 1 is going to have momentum in their favour and is going to snowball the rest of the series. That's an interesting call, Shadow. All right. For myself, I quite like the 3-1 call as well, but I'm going to go with Barnes Kieran. I'm going to say Drakir and Lucy take this one. But we're about to find out, guys. It looks like we should have a lobby available. So let me hop in there. I'm sure everyone is just waiting for the clown as usual.
They're waiting for me as well, I think.
I'm glad to not be the last one to the party, which is my usual role.
Sorry, I was still looking at the game, sorry.
And we are about to find out, guys. We do have a full lobby of players and casters now. We should be able to get these grand finals underway very, very quickly. And I'm looking forward to it. I think this should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Players ready, casters ready. Let's get into it.
So, Kingsguard for everyone game 1, right?
There's definitely going to be at least one Kingsguard, like regardless of the king spells. I think it's such a strong mastermind right now. But we are about to find out, guys, because the November Nova Cup Grand Finals is finally here. Game number 1 about to begin. We've got Barnes Kieran on the left, that's Drakir and FC Lucy. They face off against Team Kusa, that's Isolde and Adams. Game number 1, let's go!
Oh, very defensive Legion spell, so further emphasizing the scaling masterminds.
YOLO.
Wait, that's a YOLO?
Drakir! I mean, it's a very playable YOLO roll. It's not quite as good as the one he had in the first series, but it's still a very playable YOLO roll.
He has Battle Scar Gate with attack speed. I mean, what do you want more?
Yeah. Castle redraw, yep.
That's crazy, bro. And Lil Bro picks up the castle with the dams on redraw. So actually, we were both wrong, Shadow. There was not a single Kingsguard picked up. I guess probably the reason for that is that we only have 3 buff / eco spells. There is no aggressive spells whatsoever. And I think if there was like an all-out assault or a PTA, then we would definitely have at least one Kingsguard in this game.
Especially over a castle.
Right, yeah.
Four different masterminds.
4 different masterminds, that's interesting. I mean, 2 of them are kind of spiritual brothers, right, with Chaos and Redraw. But YOLO and Castle are like polar opposites.
I don't know if you saw it a lot in Group B, but in Group A there was a lot of games where there were 4 different masterminds, just because Adams and Isolde do view the game differently than most of the teams that were in Group A. And they were very, very unique in their picks. I mean, Fine and Pavidet also with some lock-ins.
Yeah, interesting. Now, Lucy, very interesting lane ornamentation here with the Pink Tempest. That's a juicer. We're just talking about the real meta. We've had enough about the brute meta. While Isolde, he's gone for the Sakura. That's pretty juicy. Adams, he's just got an assortment of stuff, so he's kind of letting the slide down.
Everything.
Though Drakir, he's just far too cool for school. He's got completely blank pedestals.
You actually have to be a certain elo to see his monuments.
Okay, it's like the Emperor's new clothes.
I mean, now looking at the roles more specifically, I mean, we see a lot. A lot of fortified. The infiltrator has been shown from Drashir. I mean, we've seen Adams use the infiltrator very well. I mean, the +3 damage on the shurikens does make a difference on 5, especially when you're playing a lot of AoE damage.
I mean, I think there's just no way that Adams would go for a big wave 5 in Drakir when he already has like the Oathbreaker as well, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was just making a situation so that maybe there's not going to be a huge send early.
Oh,
game.
sure.
Wow, Lucy went 6 workers, Little Bro saves on her, but she does have good units rolled for wave 4 anyways.
Oh, she's got a perfect wave 4, right? With the Neko, with the Consort, or even a Daphne upgrade. Like, she's very, very strong there.
I mean, the play that Isolde could look for, if he wants to protect Adams a little bit, since he's playing gun, is to skip 4 and go 5. It hurts a little bit this game, but it enables them to survive against a possible 6 against Adams.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes for it.
Now, Adams does receive a full Mythium send, at least from FC Lucy. It was the triple snail. It will be enough for a 44% leak onto him. Lil Bro, how are you doing against the Lizard? He's actually leaking as well, so we will have first blood here going the way of Barnes Kieran on wave 3. There's no brutes though, so it won't be too bad, I don't think.
Yeah, it's still reasonable.
10%. 8%.
Yeah. Still 8%,
It's just
yeah.
gonna be income.
Okay, so they feel comfortable into defending a long save against 5 or 6. So, I mean, it makes sense with Slime Siren possibility and Violet on Adams.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed, while Isolde had Nightmare Oath in his role, he's castle and can't get 40, so he can't actually build it. So he had to go for like the cat, and obviously that leaks.
But everybody going for a lot of income. I mean, we discussed about both teams playing towards their strength, strengthening their build, and be able to hold those big sends most of the times. And so both teams recognizing that, and now it's just a question of who is able to push more towards that and utilize that advantage.
Oh, it seems like the answer is trickier. 8 workers playing the most aggressive mastermind.
Yeah, and talking about that wave 4, Isolde did recognise Lucy was too good on unit quality and just went for an income sender. We do have the first power mercenary of the game coming out here, wave 5 from Drakir. Will he get the second Robo? I think he will, right?
He's 9 workers.
Yeah, he does. 9 workers, holy.
His gold is really bad for Isolde. He can't go double Oathbreaker, so he's gonna go.
Oh, you found the hardened Mudman?
I don't know if he's gonna harden, just because if he does, then he gets skipped, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he loses the 50-50 mind game.
He should still do well. I mean, there's
He
still
still
a
looks
lot of
really
distance.
strong here, right?
Yeah. And now Adamus probably wants to try and punish Drakir on something, because he can see he's super pushed. But
It's quite a reasonable
himself.
yeah, quite reasonable league for
Yeah.
Isolde.
I think it's the kind of situation where you're happy if you're Drakir, but you're not that sad if you're Isolde.
But Adams and Isolde
Oh,
are
save.
saving their bricks to utilize your wording, Penny.
They have a lot of pressure already. We've got 100 Mythium for Isolde. We've got Adams not far behind as well. And with this, another round of income send coming out from Drakir and Lucy. Isolde and Adams should be chilling here on wave 6. And they can go for a surgical strike whenever they want to.
That
Wow,
gun
biggest.
might be dead on that Dams. I'm not sure. He's not my positioning, so I'm not 100% sure. But there's a lot of snails and yeah.
Oh,
Yes, Isolde did go for a Harden here, perhaps expecting like a cheeky brute resend,
Yeah.
but it's only a lizard and king up, so he would have been
makes
fine
sense.
regardless.
They're going for a 7 play, so the important thing is not.
Yeah,
not
don't
7-6.
feed any gold. Yeah, that makes sense.
And Drakir investing in the boosted Orchid here just sets himself up to get kind of owned on 7. We'll see if that's when they actually decide to send or not, but
Yeah,
it's not
they
looking
are.
good there, yeah.
Here come the
I mean,
friends.
it's very good against Lucy. It's
It
very
is.
good against Lucy. This is good every wave except 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Shadow's favourite adage there. And we will have a
Yeah.
triple brute coming out from Isolde into Lucy's lane. Adams will not quite reach that third. He's only going to have like a robo or a lizard to add to his brutes.
The
But
Orchid is good versus Brutes, and he do have the Smurf breaker, so if the Brutes don't get
Yeah.
onto this guy, he might be able to pop off. Let's
yeah,
see.
this thing's
I-
really important. And the fact that there's no third brute, which would have slowed it down as well, that's super important for him. And look at this, the
But it
Orchid will
needs-
be tanking the split. But
needs
actually,
to
the
reach
Orchid's tanking
50%.
too much. The
Yeah,
Oathbreaker isn't
oh,
popping
God.
off. It does
too
now, but it's a bit too late.
Yeah, now it has the Brutes on it, right?
Yeah. So this will be a pretty juicy leak from Drakir. How is his teammate doing? FC Lucy actually extremely well.
good, yeah.
Which is a good thing because Drakir, that's a 90% leak from him, 66% from Lucy, and Shadow. Look at this, man. 5 brutes reaching the king here, wave 7. Can we get a king HP prediction from yourself?
That's gonna be 35%.
35% damage or
35.
remaining?
You're going down to 35, I think.
Jesus. The brutes
Well,
are
honestly.
slapping.
45. Wow.
45? I
Okay,
mean, you were
10%
close.
off.
You were close.
Game changer.
I heard some game changer
factor
music.
Still on. I mean, the win probability went back to them. I
Yeah.
guess.
But that's a very good position for a castle player.
Oh,
That's the
for
thing.
sure, right? Like the fact that they are now in the lead after wave 8. Although, having said that, Drakir and Lucy are leading the power score.
Yeah. We'll
Wait, was the
see.
game changer in favour of Drakir and Lucy?
No, it was in favor of Isolde and Adams.
Yeah, because it was like 70% win chance for Drakir and Lucy, and then. Now
Okay,
it's,
okay. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I can say is like perhaps the Mythium save thing is not being weighted quite as heavily as it should be. Because like, yeah, they had an advantage, but that was before the Mythium got set.
Yeah. Now, we do have some income coming out from all the teams, actually, so everyone just kind of chilling, getting their economy rolling. We might see some regens coming out from Barnes Kieran as well.
But
Drag is
Drashir
turbo
is,
pushed.
yeah, he's greeting, trying to get back to his advantage. It feels like he's feeling that there's a castle in this game.
I wonder if on 7, like if he had sold this, would that have been enough to make the Oathbreaker tank? Enough, and then just because like I feel like this might have pulled too much towards the Orchid.
Yeah, I agree. It's just on 7 it was so important that the Oathbreaker tanks a bit more, so that it
Yeah.
ensures to get that 50%. It just, the fact that it didn't happen while the Orchid was tanking caused a big leak.
We do see a Harden here from Isolde on his big golem, and doesn't look fantastic, wave 10, right? Because he didn't
Yeah.
shift any gold for that doppelganger. So we might see a full send coming out here from Drakir. No, only income, actually. That's kind of surprising.
I mean, it's not the most impactful unit on wave 10, the Golem and the Mudman. Like, it's not the unit that's gonna make the huge difference. Yes, you lose the potential to tank 1 or 2 more hits, I think. It
Yeah,
can make the
that's fair.
difference, but it's not that big of a difference.
Yeah. And he's just going. I guess he's just. His plan is to try and outscale a bit with his push. And he is like at the castle income. He has the castle income advantage, basically.
Yeah, so it's a repeat of the semi-final situation.
I would say he's probably a little less ahead than he was in that game, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a similar strategy.
But now, how many Dark Ritual we're gonna see? I mean, Drasher and Lucy have the regen, so Dark Ritual
Yeah.
can be an avenue. But we all know how much Lucy loves her Battle Scar.
Got him.
Got him with the Dino regen.
Took him out. Yeah, I mean, Battlescar's DK, that's still a really strong combo. And now rolled the Antler for it as well, so... I guess the only thing is whether or not the DK actually gets the Battlescars this wave, just because you never know with this many other melee units in front. Pawn Trap for Damas makes sense, obviously. Redraw Chaos with Pawn Trap is... Oh, is he gonna go for the egg? No, wait, I just looked at his gold total. He's not building an
Yeah,
egg.
he's not going for the egg, no.
He's gonna
Sorry.
punch up his Antler for...
He might have the Pawn Trap gun for the egg. And that one might be a guaranteed Adamas egg. So Battle Scars for Little Bro makes sense with the... Well, he doesn't make sense. Is it a guaranteed Battle Scars Golem? Or... I mean, it's not even that bad, right? HP on a damage reduction unit, but...
Yeah.
The attack speed is a little wasted, and... Looks like Isolde and Adamas go for the save, right? Looks like they want to pressure 13 or longer. Probably 13. But now
Gonna be
there's a
quite tricky.
Phoenix.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that they took Dark Ritual. It's a huge boost
Oh,
in
yeah.
value, and with Drasher that much ahead in income, it's gonna be quite tricky to break him.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot actually, Drakir. 242 income. He's leagues ahead of the castle player who's just had their power spike. So he's looking very, very strong in the game. Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
so
even
for the egg.
notice. Adams has 12 workers here on wave 12. That is looking pretty rough for
His
him.
plan
If
is to
you're...
go for the egg for value, but I think Drakir's plan is to have so much income for value.
Yeah,
And so they're pinging his big one man.
yeah. I mean,
is it ever a play that Isolde tries to break Lucy on a certain wave, and Adams decides to save longer to try and
Yeah, I
generate
can
the
see
income
that.
through the egg?
Yeah, I think that play makes a lot of logical sense. What you target against Drakir, I'm not exactly sure. Probably 14. Just I don't know. He might just not have enough Mythium by then.
yeah, but I mean, here's the thing, right? Drakir is nearly 100 income ahead of Adams. And the fact that he's getting 100 extra gold every single wave,
Yeah.
while Adams only has 12 workers, it's going to be hard for Drakir to go undervalue. Because he just has no pressure.
Gaining value, as the kids say.
Yeah? I mean, yeah, like he's on 2.4k, he's still on value here, wave
not a
13.
noob. Sorry, he's not building a Phoenix. He doesn't think it's 13.
I mean, it's a good call there from Drakir.
I mean, he saw his value, he saw also the egg, so
Yeah.
the egg
Yeah.
often says that
The
you
full
don't have
boost
to...
to take out the snail.
Yeah, I mean, he will kill the snail.
Oh no.
Or the harden as well. Oh,
I mean-
no.
It's a fair
Oh.
read considering he looks very bad here without the orchids.
This is disastrous, though, for Kusa. Isolde is now going to leak everything next wave.
Yeah, this poor snail though.
They wanted to force 13 with the egg so that they can go 15, but now they're just gonna like force to go 14 or something.
Yeah, I think they have the stuns. But it doesn't feel good. And Drakir knows the tech.
Yeah, there's a lot of brutes.
Income.
Lucy's just going for an income
Yeah,
send. I mean,
makes sense, right?
it
The
kind
egg
of,
is
yeah.
hatching.
Adam's egg will
zero
hatch. He's
orchids.
going to be on really high value.
We got one honey bear coming out. I mean, it makes a lot of sense versus the boar, right?
Mhm.
We'll see. I mean, Drakir is again plus value, has the harpies for DPS. He's even keeping his split with boar, which honestly kind of neuters the effect of honey bear a little bit. Obviously, it neuters the effect of his boar as well, but it gives his Oathbreaker potential to pop off, gives his Fire Lord some tanking power.
But the huge thing is that with the 12 worker, Adams doesn't get a mole, and no mole against Sky Queen. It's
Yeah. That's a huge thing. Honestly, probably should have skipped the pack even. just because the mole counters the Sky King so much.
Let's see this Honey Bear pop.
Oh, look at this Fire Lord.
I mean,
even
that
the
Fire
little
Lord is
guy.
fantastic, actually. Why do you need a Phoenix
Yeah.
if your Fire Lord can just off-tank perfectly?
And he
Honey
got
Bear
his
pops.
Fire Lord and his Smurfbreaker to both pop off, which is just really crazy.
Yeah. His Sky Queen's going
Uh,
absolutely nuts on the wave. He's going to hold. Isolde leaks
and-
100% meanwhile. Obviously,
Lucy
Lucy's
also.
leaking 118 as well. Adams, he has a ton of value still alive. How much does Drakir have? Not so much. So actually, Barnes Kieran will be taking another chunk of King HP here, while Kusa, I think, will take none. I think Adams had enough value left alive to cover there.
But it's such a tricky position to be in when you're Isolde and Adams, because Drescher is the problem, but now Isolde lost a lot of gold here on 14.
Yeah, it is definitely a weird spot. Like you said, they have the King HP, right? So like you feel like you should win this game, but you don't actually have the lead individually.
They don't have the economic lead. Like they definitely have a pretty secure position in the game, while they have 90% HP. Although having said that, we have seen one-shots this series already, so...
Yeah, and it looks like, well, what does it look like?
Hmm.
They're not really that pushed, but
I would
you don't
guess,
really want to go
like...
17 versus this build.
Yeah, although Isolde has pressed the worker button a few
Yeah,
times.
he's very push.
Yeah.
I mean, are we just going 16? I mean,
Yeah, it kind of feels like that.
like this is not that great. I mean, this
Yeah,
is good.
I think 16 makes a lot of sense.
Drakir's not leaking 16 though. He has like a full Sky
He is
Queen
overbuilding.
NPS circle. He'll have a Phoenix there as well.
I mean,
Yeah,
if Adams continues to push, maybe, but I mean,
But
he's
if he
going quite
pushes, then
far.
who's holding?
Yeah,
that-
because
yeah,
Isolde
that-
is not holding.
He is pushing. They're both pushing.
Okay, they are going for the...
You said are not going 16.
Alright, that's
Classic.
interesting. I kind of like this actually. This is pretty spicy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta try something.
Team Kusa
But
making a
unfortunately,
play
they
to
said-
close out the game. Oh yeah, okay.
Ah.
Now their play is not going to be so great.
Yeah, it might be a little obvious that they have to send.
Yeah.
I think that the Isolde pushing is a bit of a mistake against Lucy's build over the one of Drashir. So
Yeah,
I think a bit of a misplay, even if you're full fortified.
I think their plan was just to try and kill them with a double Sui, but unfortunately, and they hope Tricker and Lucy skip, but
Yeah, they skipn't.
they skip it.
They do still have a major King HP advantage though, so if it does come down
That is
to a
true.
race, if it's even remotely close, Kusa should win this.
Yeah, I mean, they do have like a boost, harden, all this stuff is good, but their values are red.
Yeah.
I mean, do we ever sell sirens? So, no, okay, I understand.
Their values are red, and this value is very much grey. So I think...
The imp counter. Oh.
I was like, do we sell sirens to build more orchids? And he builds another siren. I'm like, okay, I guess we don't do that.
Yeah, I would think spamming is probably better than an upgraded one, but
Oh, it all comes down to this, guys. We've got
Ooh.
600 Mythium Sens or thereabouts in all 4 of the lanes. This Phoenix is just an absolute beauty here from Drakir. A masterclass of positioning from this young man. In fact, the thing is still alive. It does finally go down, but it certainly has done its job. Let's check some of the other lanes. That looks like it should be a juicy leak from FC Lucy, but Isolde, this is a big leak from this young man. 94% for Lucy, 72 Adams, 85 Isolde, but Drakir leaks pretty quickly as well. We said it would come down to a race, and here it is. Let's zoom right out, get both kings on screen. I think Kusa should win this one because of that massive king HP advantage.
And it is.
Yeah,
They do. Wow. 8 creeps left on the side of Barnes Kieran with tiny HP. One more king spell would have kept him alive.
That was a very tricky spot to play in as Isolde and Adams. Adams very low workers due to the early aggressions and saving. Drescher trying to utilize that and pushing quite a lot to get his economy up. And it's just mid game was quite tricky. They read the wrong wave, but Adams have enough value to cover. So like everything really went out on a very narrow line for Isolde and Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Adams still had 12 workers on wave 14, by the way. So Lucy obviously made the correct call to go income king against him
Honestly,
there. She
I
probably
feel
wouldn't
like
have been able to
Lucy
break him.
Lucy Pro League King 15 was the mistake that kind of lost them the game
Yeah.
because the Solda and Doms have way more workers in the race. Like I don't think Drakir would leak if the wave wasn't so long.
I mean, you say way more workers, but the send was not much different, honestly. Like, Drakir received
but I
620, Isolde received 580.
but I think it's because the wave was so long that they got to those. Like I don't think it
Right.
would have been close otherwise.
Yeah, because Drakir and Lucy
You
just
might be
had way
right,
more
yeah.
workers on wave 14, right?
Yeah.
So it was the fact that that 15 gave like the Sui push from Isolde and Adams enough time to catch up. And yeah, well, we saw it. They did take the victory here on wave 16. A very close fought game though, and I think Isolde and Adams, they would have died as well, right? Because while they had a lot of king HP, they didn't have nearly enough king upgrades to keep them alive here. It was very close for Drakir and Lucy. Like, if they'd been able to kill 2 or 3 more creeps in lane, they probably would have survived and won the game. But that's the margins that these things come down to when we're looking at this like level of play. So yeah, that is a 1-0 in favour of Drakir and Lucy. We should be able to hop into game number 2 pretty quickly.
Yeah, I must say that Kusa, despite them winning, I'm still a bit scared because
Yeah.
this is their best pairing of Mastermind gone, and they didn't look that great as they were on day one with it. So I'm a bit concerned against Drakir and Lucy, but I'm gonna stick to my prediction. I'm gonna say they're gonna win 3-1.
I mean, yeah, I admire you for sticking to your guns there, Shadow. You said whoever wins game 1 is going to take the series. We'll have to see if that pans out now. We do have all of the players in the lobby, so we should be able to get game number 2 underway pretty quickly. Like you say, though, that is their favoured pairing off the table. Conquest format does mean that Adams and Isolde are no longer able to play Castle or redraw for the remainder of the series. You win it once and then it's off the table. They do still have Chaos, though, and Adams is a bit of a Chaos abuser, so that one's still available. Cartel, of course, still available for them. We'll have to find out what they go with here as we move into game number 2. We are about to find out, guys. We are 1-0 in the lead in these November Nova Cup Grand Finals. Team Kusa currently have the lead. Will Barnes Kieran be able to tie the series here? Let's find out. Game number 2.
Oh, you do
You
have
do have an
press the
aggressive
attack.
spell, yeah.
Yeah. But any archers lock in with sorcerer? I mean, I know if Fine was there, he would have maybe done it. But that's gonna be Kingsguard game.
Kingsguard. Kingsguard cartel for
Oof.
both teams. Wow.
Okay.
There is an Archer APS role there from Adams with Sorcerer.
What a beast.
I mean,
The rest of the role is kind of hard to play. Into
Yeah,
Archer.
it kind of is actually. Like, what's his early game there for Adams? Flower Mask, I guess, but then how is he holding
Yeah.
wave 5 with a prayer?
I mean, Mask Flower with a Halo, or Mask Casket with a Halo.
Yeah, I guess Halo
Casket
could
probably
give
makes more
him
sense.
options on 5.
Like if you ditch the Archer, you can kind of play the role.
you got it all wrong. It's Archer Mask early game into Stay 5 Worker to pop out the boar on 5.
Ah.
I see. I've been looking at it all wrong.
No, it's quite hard to play, and I mean, he's gonna play the Archer,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's what the tradition is, and
He does get a snail as well. I think with the
What's the
mask
red
it
of
should
this,
be
though?
enough to hold, right? Like all of the 25 gold tier 1s should be enough to hold.
Yeah.
should be.
It looks like he's fine. There's still a bunch of HP left on that, so that's just 4 free gold there for Adams. Nice luck as always. And we did say, by the way, at the start of the previous game, if there was any aggressive spells, we'd see Kingsguard all around. And here there's a press the attack, and here we have double Kingsguard from Lucy and Isolde. So I love it when a plan comes together.
Aviator would claim Drakir and Lucy for snailing when they have Kingsguard.
Mm-hmm.
He hates it.
I mean, reasonable, right? You're picking a mastermind that excels with a strong king, and then you don't make your king so strong.
But let's see, the early game from Drasher is still quite aggressive. I mean, he has the Cascade Seedling, one of the highest push potential, and he has a decent answer for 5 in the Sea Dragon.
Yeah.
So it's still looking promising for his early push. And we know that if Drasher has his early push, it's still looking good. Problem is, Lucy is also AoE, so...
I mean, his wave
Yeah.
6 looks pretty weak though, right? Like, he has that Sea Dragon for 5, but what does he have on wave 6?
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the issue.
Yeah.
And from how game 1 went, Adams and Isolde have shown to be willing to go for those long save despite being low workers, as Adams is currently. I mean, Isolde as well, 4 workers still. But has a rat.
It looks like he should be getting away with it here, although it is taking him a very long time to kill the
Yeah, right.
DT. Wait,
He killed his Pilgrim, but
it
I
did
think
kill his
a fully-
Pilgrim. No, this is going to be a leak, right? Even
Yeah,
though the
whoops.
tree is like fully buffed on this one, it's not even a small one. 56% there
Whoops.
to the DT.
It's
Oh, great.
a little bit of a greedy hunt.
Just
bad do you
how
have to be?
bad do you have to be to leak to a DT on 3 on 3 on 3?
And Drac has been saving on Adamas, not letting him play the game. He is actually just
mean-
gonna go straight 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I mean, they know how weak they are on 6, so they want to force 5, right? Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, Adamas could go for...
I mean, we shift 64 gold, we sell a Varg, and we go Avenger?
Yeah, or if you're just like a complete psycho, you just don't build the Warwick here.
I
Actually,
mean,
not
that
even
would be
sure if he
psycho
holds
yet.
both up.
Well,
I-
I think Adams
what are
knows
his
he's in
options?
trouble on 5. The
Halo,
the
I
good thing
guess?
is that Isolde is going to be very fine there. Like, he's got another resend here. He can definitely hold wave 5. I mean, he's holding with his current build already.
Yeah. I think it would make a lot of sense, honestly, for Lucy to save even.
Yeah. So here comes that big boy send from Drakir, the Hermit Robo into Adams, who does get his Halo out, actually, so he's going to be doing okay. There's another Hermit
Nice.
coming out
Where
from
did
Isolde
it?
into Drakir, though, and he's not looking great on wave 5.
Yeah, I think Drakir will leak. I mean, Daphne is good at killing the boss, but that's probably it.
Yeah. But I'll be quite interested into how Adams does, because he's on 5 worker, so if he
565
leaks...
value cartel.
Yeah, if he leaks as Cartel here, with this value,
Oh, his Halo is...
not tanky.
I mean,
So
I mean,
not
Archer
thinking.
tanks.
yeah, I guess Archer taking is more important because it actually can't do anything this wave. But
I mean, it's looking decent.
He's doing really well. Drakir,
Yeah.
meanwhile, I mean, Drakir's actually leaking worse. 56% there to him. And yeah, he's killing. Will he get this last one? No. So only 42% to Adams there. But this was 140 Mythium send. Drakir leaked more to an 80. Now, of course, he had higher workers, but
We'll see. It depends on what's the next play now, because it does hurt Adams with the Cartel. It brings
Yeah.
him down a little bit, but he's still equal in income to
both
Drasher, who is
Cartel.
also Cartel.
cartel on cartel crime.
Drakir is securing his spot at the bottom of the power table, it looks like.
Yeah.
Isolde
I
doing
mean,
a very good job of keeping him in check here in game 2.
And he still has 100 Mythium in the bank.
Yeah. He is bullying him, isn't he? Like, little bro is out for blood here. And these are one-time tournament partners, by the way. Isolde and Drakir have won an Overcup together.
Yeah, I mean, it's still Bro taking revenge against Big Bro, saying that I'm still able to do good here. So, I mean, it's pretty mirrored in terms of worker situation as well. The Kingsguard are both at 9 workers, but Isolde does have the rat benefit on the earlier waves.
Isolde getting away with murder here as well, 470 value. There will be a pro leak here. I just don't know if it's actually good for them, because
I
Drakir and
mean,
Lucy are going for big sends
yeah.
here as well.
Okay. They may give Drakir, like, well, I don't know if he'd actually go for double root. He might.
I mean,
He goes
everybody's
for-
going.
Yeah.
Does go for the double brute. Okay, Adams, you've got 200 gold. What do you want to spend it on? He could sell a small mask and add a full Hellraiser.
feel like you just go alpha male here, but
Yeah, I think Alpha Male's the best because you know your
Yeah.
brute.
Okay, he does. Good call.
gotta kill the Brit somehow.
Yeah. Tanks the brute
That's
quite
it.
nicely as well, right?
I don't know about this Hermit into Lucy. Hermit versus just the flower? That seems wrong.
Yeah.
But she is
It's
building a
5
Zeus.
it's 6 or 5 HP per second still. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
quite-
true. Like, it's still power mark, but I feel like Brute to try and kill the veteran makes a lot of sense. So. Looks like it's still gonna work, to be honest. None of the range units tanking at all.
Adams is doing very well with that Alpha Male edition. Isolde, though, not quite so well. 104% leak from him. Lucy doing phenomenally well here in lane number 3. And Drakia as well. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so 44% leak from Adams. That's pretty respectable, honestly. But the fact that Isolde leaked 100, that's going to be a lot of king damage. Meanwhile, Drakia and Lucy, they're both just holding. Let's check out this king damage. Meanwhile, on the side of Team Kusa, Barnes Kieran getting first blood and in style, dropping their opponents all the way down below 70.
It was a send diff in Lucy's lane, but
Yeah. 61% is the final outcome after all is said and
overplay.
done.
I mean, they were ahead. They're even more ahead now.
Yeah, she's just burning. Kingsguard player on fire in a double cartel lobby.
Wow, that's kind of nuts.
I mean, it's partly her play, partly Drac going 1 to 5 on the other cartel player so that they can't play the game.
Yeah.
We discussed about how Adam's rogue was looking pretty good in the mid and late game with Sorcerer, but if you don't reach
Oh,
that,
God.
it's kind of problematic.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Over, maybe over push, so now he has to build more for wave 8 and he's not getting a send here, and his wave 9 looks like he's dead.
I think
Yeah.
Adams and Isolde are not seeing the Sorcerer spell this game.
Is it going to be our first pre-wave 10 victory?
I mean, Adonis is actually quite good on wave 9 if he can get his Avenger out. Oh, well, hold on.
he's
He
he's
needed
just
to
got
worry
pro
about
league.
wave 8, it seems.
Yeah. Well, Drakia doesn't have very much Mythium to
Yeah,
send,
yeah.
though.
I think they're fine. They'll see one sorcerer as well.
Yeah.
I hope. A mimic here. I would assume this is a death cap or 2. Well, she doesn't have gold for 2 little guys, so just a death cap. But no mole, just a mimic. Not that good against death cap. I mean, it's pretty tanky against death cap, but
I guess you have the Mimic going through, but that's only the Mimic
Yeah.
going through.
I mean, it is a
Also might
shutdown,
wanna-
though.
kind of want to see the Avenger higher just to try and have it tank a little bit on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normally the play.
Like having it too safe is, I mean, on value probably it doesn't matter, but if it does end up being a diff,
We're about to find out. There's some
mean,
pretty big sends in 3
no
of the
split
lanes.
tanking.
Drakia only receiving income. He should be completely
Alphabel is
fine.
just getting one shot by this magic damage, but I think it's
Oh,
fine.
Avenger is kind of cooking now. Lil
Yeah.
Bro, though, that's a massive leak on
Yeah.
Isolde. Lucy, sure, she leaks and gives the shutdown, but of course, Drakia is holding against the income send, and
Waldo.
Adams, it looks like this will be a leak here against the smaller send, only receiving 140, and this is looking very, very dangerous indeed for Kusa.
The mole just deletes all this value from his build.
I mean,
Yeah, he has so much
very
this
rough
week.
position. I mean,
He's also not good on 10 either.
You think
I
in
mean,
recent?
I'm still not sure if we see Sorcerer. Okay, we
Okay,
see
there's no
Sorcerer.
reason.
Sorry, sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yes. But is it just like a straight 13 they're dead type of situation?
I mean, I feel like you're right.
Knowing
Is there
Drakir,
a counterplay?
It's
I
kind
mean,
of risky for
PTA
Drakia and
resends
Lucy to skip
11.
on wave 11, though, right? They're not great there.
we could also see just PTA 11 win the game.
Yeah.
That could also work. I mean, we do have the chieftain, but not much else.
I mean, he can chieftain buff a 20% buffed Treant, right?
Yeah, true. But the only thing with buffing the Tran is like then your pilgrim might not tank, and that would be a lot of lost value as well.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
with
throw
the
it
right
in the split.
positioning, you might be able to. I don't know. I do think skipping 11 would be pretty risky here.
Yeah, there is a send coming out from Adams and Isolde.
income.
Drakir and Lucy do as well. Only income, though, from Drakir, so he does
That
think...
one's not an income, unfortunately.
He does respect Adams' build here.
Yeah, I mean, Adamas with the Sorcerer, a lot of like good tanks already.
Yeah.
I mean, do you go sorcerer in your position? Okay, you don't.
Nature and
Because I feel like
You
you're
could
so
go
behind.
PTA, yeah.
PTA could have been a good option to get the gold back. It might be more worth it for you.
This
If he's
chieftain
worried
is
about
buffing
holding,
itself,
though.
right?
Yes, I do believe that Chieftain is buffing himself.
Hmm.
I do think it. I mean, it is gonna tank like 30-40% of the wave, maybe. So,
Might not be the worst.
but the thing about having upper split here is the Orchid is like shooting, not the pack leader, I think.
Yeah.
Or wait,
It's
yeah.
going to kill the brute. Very
But,
good.
I mean, half the wave on the Chieftain, that's pretty efficient.
And now the Orchid is shooting the pack leader.
But I
Bad
think
guys.
half the wave on the pack leader, or
Yeah.
half the wave on the Pilgrim kills it, unfortunately.
But I mean, Adams is going to hold, right? Because he's only receiving income king. So Lil Bro does go for big leaks. That is 66% for him. Meanwhile, Drakir and Lucy, this both looks like pretty juicy leaks indeed. So
Shutdown.
33%, not the biggest, of course, but it is a 50 gold shutdown on
Wait,
Lucy.
oh.
Oh, but Adams leaks to the income king. Oh, never mind then.
Wait.
It's just game over.
PTA King Ups were too strong.
Yeah.
The king ups are hard to hold.
Wow. Okay, I did not see that one coming. I thought Adams would
thought
just
he had
hold
it
for
with the
sure.
Sorcerer.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all thought the sorcerer was good enough, but the problem was the archer was dead.
Yeah.
So there was no
That
sorcerer.
is a problem, actually. You were right, there was no Sorcerer in this game.
Oh, did he just have an Adamus sorcerer?
I do believe so. I look at the split and I don't see the archer surviving
Yeah.
anything.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I just didn't even look at Adam's lane because I was certain he would be fine, but he was actually Pavided. So as a result, Drakir and Lucy take game number 2. We do have a tied series on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, which means the best of 5 is all to play for as we get into game number 3. Now, Shadow,
Point out,
how does this work with your
Isolde-
narrative in terms of the first winner taking the series? Because we're talking about momentum, we're talking about morale. Surely that's now in favour of Drakir and Lucy, especially like Adams has got to be kicking himself for losing the game against an income send there.
I mean, I said 3-1, so they need to lose one game.
They do need to lose one, but just, you know, for momentum's sake, they're on the back foot
but
now.
I must say it's a good adjustment play by Drescher and Lucy,
Yeah.
seeing how game 1 went. But now I feel like Adams has enough experience
Yeah.
to know how it's going right now, right?
He's not gonna get 1-5s again, is he?
I mean,
Right?
if you stay low worker and like you feel you're getting safe for 1-5, exploding your weak wave, you can make the adjustment to go for a little bit more income and having that pressure coming from your partner.
Hmm.
So it depends on who has the best role to cover the early game.
Mhm.
And with Rat, it's something you can do to cover those weak waves still. And so you can exert more pressure. You can allow yourself to do that. So there's slight adjustment, but I think that it's good adaptation from Drescher and Lucy, seeing how game 1 went.
Mhm.
And I think, again, it was a pro league that caused kind of the game to swing so hard because Isolde pro leagues before their big set, but the thing is they didn't actually want the longer wave because it let Drac and Lucy get to their Mythium thresholds. Like Drac wasn't getting the double brute before the pro league, so Adamas probably is holding then. Like very like I would think so if like he's not getting double bruted. And that can kind of swung the whole game right there. So
Yeah. So Adams leaking twice to income sends, really costing Kusa the game this time around. Well, we'll have to see. It is all up in the air now as we go into game number 3. So which one of our teams is going to take the lead this time? We have got a lobby available. Everybody is waiting on the clown. So let's hop into this one and say, ready. And we should get game number 3 underway ASAP.
But now, Lucy and Drescher don't have Kingsguard.
yeah,
True.
And Isolde and Adams still have it. So
They do
it's
have
still
Kingsguard.
something.
And Cartel is gone as well, and that's a very strong mastermind in this current patch, I think.
for sure. The early game.
So
was
maybe
just so
Adams and
important.
Isolde disperse the cartel and the Kingsguard
Yeah.
for 2
Hmm.
games.
I could see that. Yeah.
Well,
I
they
think
can hold on
have
to
been
it until
pairing
they
them.
have good Legion spells, right? Cartel is phenomenal in games where you have like a all-out assault, press the attack, etc. And this game does
Ooh,
have two very aggressive spells, guys. We
and
are
he
here, game
insta-clicks it.
number 3. Let's go.
Yeah, they just run
They're
it back.
running
I
it
mean,
back.
makes so much sense with these Legion spells.
Yeah. This is
Dragon
like
If
a perfect lobby for Cartel Kingsguard, right? When there's overwork and Robo Army on the table.
I think this is like, what do you pick here?
Is it a
Like-
Fiesta angle?
Could see Fiesta Greed or like Fiesta Cash Out maybe? Nope.
It's a
It's
chaos.
Chaos.
Chaos Greed.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oof, what's the starter unit? Did you go gun chaos? It's very tricky.
Yeah, maybe just Skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skeleton
also
is
risky.
easy to play around, right? You can either make the big pirate on 3, or you can sell them for a tier 6 if you want to play that route as well.
Yeah. Drag has Flying Force Phoenix. Could be his best choice.
And you start like Tempest Gargoyle.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's what Lucy would do.
I mean, look, I mean the Crusher opener is not that good in his role. So I mean, I think it's really the best opener he has, considering Lucy goes for Skeleton.
Yeah, unless he thinks he really likes Adam. I could
I
see
think
Adam
just go with
Garg
the
as
Atom.
well.
Yeah,
Atom
Atom Gargoyle is a
is
solid
possible.
opener.
I would bet that Lucy would still start Tempest because I think
I mean,
she
it's
likes
90
to...
plus 40, so
She likes to bait in the send on 4 and then have the Adam there.
We do have the flower opener from Isolde, so he's just
Yeah.
begging to get hermited on 5 already.
Flower Harpy.
yeah, and he doesn't really have that great answer for 5. He has
Yeah.
this pretty bird. It's not that
It's-
exceptional holding unit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it can
it's also hard to
tank the
position.
Scorpion pretty well, right, with the fortified armor, but it's just not very much damage on wave 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, Lucy rolled a 25 unit, so if Adamas does go for the snail, then... Yeah, and he
He
does.
does go for it.
Pick that build.
Oh,
I
there
mean,
will
it's
be a
probably
leak
not
on
too
Lucy.
bad, right? Just the long
Yeah,
way.
you take the leak. You take the leak, and I mean, if you planned already to go for a long save on 5, you're
Yeah.
still in a good position. I mean, you need the economy with your leak here to get the
Yeah, you
get
probably have the
scout
income.
point.
Yeah. So at least Little Bro doesn't have to worry about a straight 5, but could be a straight 6 if now that he's shown Harpy. Like, this is a
That's
pretty classic build to go
Yeah.
6 on. Like, Sky Queen is just so bad versus a big 7/6.
I don't feel like Lucy wants to go straight wave 6. She
Yeah.
might take some income here on
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
3/6,
she
something
needs
like
some
that.
come here.
Yeah, especially with how long the wave is, and the gold margins can be fine now that she leaks.
Yeah.
Hey, she killed one more though.
Yeah, 25. Same as Poeted from the semis. Will Little Bro get the 60? Because he could click the green guy. And he does.
He does.
Clicks it.
I don't think he gets the snail. It doesn't look like he would
Would-
have it.
I mean, Drakea
You know,
could have
Drake
gone
actually
for
has
a green devil.
money. But
He
I
doesn't
guess
go for it.
Drakea clearly
guess
not
he wants
expecting a
to-
brute here, right? He's just thinking it's
Yeah.
going to be an income send when he's showing Gargoyle.
I would think if these were swapped, he might want to go green devil. But having a green devil in your split doesn't feel that good because you really want that damage combined
Yeah.
with your Atom.
Yeah, you are correct. And now
but-
it's just gonna leak, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, honestly, it's good that the Garg isn't getting hit by the brute.
Yeah, otherwise the split would collapse onto the atoms really quickly.
Yeah. Wait, he has a chance, right? He's gonna focus the brute down,
Uh-oh.
or by coping.
You're coping. I think he might kill it though,
Uh,
which is pretty good
wait,
result
this
for
is
him,
really
honestly.
good, yeah. For a brute?
Wait,
Oh my
wait,
god.
is he just holding?
If he had better.
Let's go,
wait,
Proton! Proton!
Wait.
Hey,
I mean.
wow. Okay, I did not expect that.
Holy fuck.
He does
3
leak,
HP.
but it is literally 3 HP on a hopper. It's the smallest leak it could possibly have been.
Yeah. I mean, that was a brute.
I mean, that's pretty good from Drashir, to be honest. I did not see that coming.
Unfortunately, Lucy rolled all the magic damn units the wave before she needs them, but still can pre-build the poly at least, so there's something.
That's all you need.
Yeah. And honestly, if I was Drakir and I saw Adama's build, I would just think it's wave 7 for sure, but he does
Yeah,
have
you
good
mean-
7 answers.
He did go for income here, so I could see 7. like you do. And if Lucy wants to extend wave 6 with that Senna against Isolde, would be extra good, I think, because the resend on Isolde on 7 is also good.
Could also work, yeah. I mean, that's a really strong play pattern if they want to go for it. Lucy might feel like she needs the gold here to play, though, and she just goes for wave 5 Hermit.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
Hermit.
there's
that's-
a brute from Adamas. He's going 9 workers here. He, I think, realizes that 7 is his first weak wave, so he's just going to overpush now.
Mhm.
And
So we did
Lucy-
talk about that
oh,
Hermit possibility all the way on wave 1 or 2, right? And
Like
here it
this-
is. Isolde, I think, is going to really struggle to kill much of
isn't
this wave.
Seraphim? Maybe not enough gold to build anything else relevant with Seraphim, so it goes for the Whirlybird instead.
Yeah.
I honestly still feel like Seraphim is probably better, but I guess Whirlybird is better on 6 and 7.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe she feels like she holds with Whirlybird either way.
And
Let's see how
Scorpion
Little
King.
Bro is doing.
Little Bro's actually doing remarkably well.
Yeah. How's the
And the spin
Whirlybird?
tanking with all of his nature tanks were pretty good, and the Whirlybird tanking the boss was also pretty good. So
Yeah.
it's a small lead.
He's done much better than I expected. I thought this could be like a 80% leak, but it's
Yeah.
only 43. He's very happy with that result, I think. And meanwhile, FC Lucy, I mean, she's happy with this as well. She received 100 send, only barely leaks half a brute and a scorpion. Both players' teammates will be able to full cover, so no king damage yet. Wave number 5.
And wow, just goes Robos into Adamas here. I think he also is feeling the pressure, like he needs to send here. So Adamas can get the Orchid here if he wants. Goes for the Disciple, which is maybe better on 7, but it's not bad on 6 as well. But it's not really tanking, right?
I mean, I like that both teams are doing the I send one wave, I save from the other, so that
Yeah.
no matter who wins, I'm right. So that's good.
I mean, getting income here for Drac is a huge bailout. I think he's leaking pretty
Yeah.
hard to double Brood.
Yeah. Yeah, he's quite lucky to just get the Drake there.
Nice aggro here. Adam tanking 1. The Robos are kind of overwhelming the tanks, but
The
it looks like he
infiltrators.
will kill
Nice little
everything.
split here.
I think he
He-
gets this one, right?
He will leak. He'll kill one more, and then he's going to leak 1
Yeah.
plus the Robos.
We have a small leak on Adams, on Drashir, sorry.
That is
Yeah.
very, very
Lucy is
fortunate.
holding.
Lucy is also barely holding. I think if they got double rooted, this might have actually been some king damage.
Kind of bailed
But
out
who
there.
comes
from
out
the
ahead
get.
of this?
Yeah, but now we have the resend from Drakir and what looks to be a real send into Little Bro. Maybe the mole, right? Looking at these
Yeah,
units.
there's them all. There's them all.
And we have the Badger, though. That's a pretty solid choice.
The Badder Badger?
The Badger.
The
And we
Badder
have the
Badger.
Casket here, but it's just... Wow, this build is actually really vulnerable on 7.
Yeah, and the casket is backline as well. I don't know why he doesn't place it here. Like, he
I
gets
think the
some
idea is,
value.
like, you hope that everything tanks for the Casket just because they don't do anything else this wave, but...
Hmm.
I don't know. It's on value,
It's only
but...
one brute though. It's only one brute, so
Yeah,
it's
one
not.
brute. Not the scary or anything, right? Mole brute for Little Bro. Let's see how he does. I mean, he's insta-sniping one brute. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's killing some of the wave. The mole is really helping to reduce the damage of the flower and the harpies. That will be a big leak for Isolde.
Yeah.
And Adams, he is wallowing once again. 62% on Adams, 90 on Isolde. And here we will get to see First Blood Wave 7.
They had to, or I guess Adamas was the one that had to hold here, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're going for this save. But, I mean, let's see. I mean, they have Kingsguard, right? They don't take as much damage. They have a really good 9 counter punch.
They don't take as much damage, but they're still all the way down to 60% from those leaks. Now, Drakir and
Yeah.
Lucy do go for an income resend.
Wow.
Adams and Isolde, they are now threatening quite a scary send
Yeah.
on wave 9.
Ooh, Drac does feel kind of unsafe here. I mean, looking at his value, I could see it, but like he has money to go for Firelord and then double Mudman next wave,
Mhm.
which would just completely. Oh, he's actually going for a full send here, trying to catch Adamas. I mean, makes sense. Look at these units.
Yeah.
His Adam is full dead instantly.
And the rest
And
of his
Lucy
stuff is
also
pretty
going for
garbage.
full send.
Yeah,
don't know about-
Isolde is not looking better.
Yeah,
Oh.
also no damage, right?
And the casket
Oh my
does get
God,
on the
this-
wave pretty quickly. And wait, the Atom? is
Okay,
actually
never mind, Adam
fully
is
alive.
smurfing.
Wow, that is a Smurf Atom if ever I've seen one. Lovely positioning there from Adams. That should reward him heavily.
Yeah.
How's Lil Bro doing? He is killing. Is he just
Yeah,
holding?
I mean, they might regret not having king ups now
Yeah.
in these extra snails. It's going to be small leaks for both of them, but I think that's fine.
Yeah, 25% from Isolde, 17% from Adams, 5 Cobras reaching the king. No power mercs this time, so they shouldn't take too much damage.
Yeah, 5
Okay, we
rose
didn't
king so that you can get 5 roots on the enemy lane. That's pretty good trade.
We didn't see it on the main broadcast, but I think you had that a lot in your group, Ofma, that a wave 9 counterpunch was
Yeah.
often more game winning than an early save.
Yeah, wave 9 is just so strong, and even with these hardened guys, I don't think they are fine.
I mean, the Harden will.
But he's flying.
It is a
He
flying
levels.
Mudman, yeah, it's super strong. But the Harden will obviously make Drakir do pretty well, and he's on value. Right? He's got nearly 1300 value here on wave
I'm
9.
gonna ask you the same question as yesterday. On value with what?
Well, with 2 Hardened Mudmen as well, right? He's not completely dead here.
I will say this full like brutes into full swift on 9 is pretty funny, but he's sniping 2. She's sniping 2 brutes
Yeah.
instantly. 3 brutes instantly. Is this Firelord alive? Yes.
The Avenger
Another
is
brute
dying
is
now.
gone.
Drakir, I
Another
mean, he
brute is
sniped some
gone.
brutes as well. He's sniping
I mean-
all of the brutes on Drakir, yeah, all the brutes are dead.
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
Oh my
Lucy
God,
doing
sorry.
phenomenally well as well.
I
That's
wasn't familiar with your game, Leviathan. Holy moly.
Drakir's just holding.
What?
Yeah,
Leviathan does 3.5k damage on wave 9.
he just
And the
holds.
little proton finishes the job.
Yeah. On value
How
with
is
what
Leviathan so
shadow?
good online?
I guess it had to be Mole, right? Like, I wouldn't have expected
guess.
you need a Mole on 9 versus those. Wow.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
kind of wild.
I think the game is over, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we both got surprised
I mean-
how well it done.
Jules agrees with your assessment there, Offmer. He's giving Barnes Kieran an 88% win probability from here on.
Nah. APS Phoenix. Wait, this is.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. And Drakir and Lucy are just so far ahead now. They have the worker lead, they have the income lead by far, they have the king upgrade lead by far, the king HP lead by far. They're just in a really, really strong position. This is going to take some absolute strategic masterpiece from Kusa to come back into this game.
Back went for a little income even.
I don't know how much of this is just people just overestimating brutes, because imagine a pack on Lucy and
Yeah.
the mold we spoke of against Rashir.
Yeah, or even Mimic versus Lucy looks really strong, right? Like, even if
true.
you expect them to build natural fortified, like, you were willing to send Mimic versus Deathcap, so shouldn't
Yeah.
you be willing to send Mimic versus Scally plus Avenger?
And we see this once again, by the way. One member of
Yeah.
Team Kusa leaking to no send while Barnes Kieran are saving against them. And here comes this big send on wave 11 with the double aggressive spell, the
Double
overworked
overwork,
snap
oh
picked
God.
there by Drakir and Lucy. Adams and
DR, I
Solve.
guess.
I
Yeah,
mean, if we go double DR, aren't we in a good position?
Yeah, DR Phoenix. Well, I actually don't know if it's Phoenix, but
I mean, I think the position of Adams with Dark Ritual.
he's
still
saving
looking
money
pretty
to
good.
DR Phoenix at the last second.
yeah. They're doing the regens like
Yeah, do the
proactively,
regions first. Yeah.
so that when they do the DR, it's already starting to cook.
No,
The thing is, they have to do the no
doesn't
push after this.
Yeah, he needs to harden.
They are gonna DR, right? Okay. No harden. I guess
Uh-huh.
he's worried about overwork 12.
Yeah.
I mean, he managed to build the other Mudman at least.
Oh, now his Atom's very dead.
This pack is just staying alive forever, and the Phoenix is full dead. The one tank sent gets them every time.
I mean, this is it. They are dead now, right?
Yeah.
Lil Bro's just leaking everything. Adams is doing. He's
Doing
holding.
good.
Is he?
Well, I don't know. I don't think he's holding. I think there's 2. Wait, actually, I can't tell how many creeps are left.
There's 2 creeps and 2 robos.
That's
That's
two
a
cycles, yeah.
hold.
That's old.
That is a hold.
But there's a lot of creeps, but they have
Yeah.
Kingsguard, so this is a live angle. But
He
this
won't
is a
cover
long
anything
wave.
though. These disciples are both like instantly dead.
It's a long wave with overwork.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't really push. I would. Oh, I guess he saved the Hardens, right? So he's actually okay on
Yeah.
12.
Yeah, true.
It's a good call in the end that he didn't harden.
Okay.
I think Lucy and Drek just saved though, right? Yeah,
They do
that's
save,
the,
they do.
That's the play to win the game. You just go 14 now.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
I mean, you both have Phoenix. You can't get sent there. Lucy just rolled Doomsday. Nice luck. Well,
Drakir
you
and
can't really build
Lucy
it, but
both very far ahead in terms of power score. And despite not quite closing out the game there on 11 like they wanted, they're in a really strong spot.
yeah, I mean,
Wait.
technically they did king damage with the DRs.
Yep.
Isn't there an angle to? Okay, I mean it's a stretch, okay, but I'm talking for the 9% believers, okay. Um, is there an angle that we go income king on 14, knowing it's 14 against this all day, and Adams goes full casket and he holds and he has a good board for 16?
Yeah, I can see
Maybe.
the play.
Maybe.
They have to make it. The thing is, like, Drakir is like probably weakest on 17 after that, like that's his first weak wave. But I think Lucy by then should have built enough chaos units to be good on 17.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I
it's
do
a
think Income
stretch.
King 14 makes the most sense. Unless they
I
think
mean-
they can hold. I mean, they're very high value, and Lucy's very not high value. Yeah, but okay, is she gonna make the right read? Phoenix versus Prep OT. Honestly, I think Phoenix is probably still important to have on the board no matter what. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the split 10 king. But okay, she decides to go for the Ocean Templar, which is a good decision when you're playing Chaos.
yeah, I mean, the late game scaling will be there. I mean, honestly, 14 is pretty good. Like, if they live 14, they have to get king damage and live, I guess is the problem.
They're actually passively gaining win probability just through their regen, by the way.
Yeah, but I think it. Yeah, unfortunately, I think if they wanted to win, it was Income King. If you're Adams
Yeah.
and Isolde, but they don't see it the same way. They feel like they need the king damage right now.
They
Which
can
I
get
don't
some
think-
shutdowns here, but they also have to survive.
I mean,
Yeah, that's the issue. And I think with Income, you get Lucy, no
I
matter
don't know
what.
if you, I don't know if you leak Drak, I guess is the thing here. He's on value
Yeah.
with potential Harden.
I think if Drakir hardens, he's just holding for sure.
Lucy, I could definitely see leaking, right? No fortified against Mimic,
Yeah.
so
The thing is, Adams and Isolde both absolutely need to hold as well. They
Yeah.
only have 35% left on their king. There is no like attack or spell upgrades.
yeah. I mean, Adamus has the Hardens.
He is
That's
hardening.
important. Hardens with casket. He needs to build. Okay.
He did find the build button. He's still receiving a 600 Mythium send, though. So pretty big sends all around. Drakir, the only player who is on value. Everybody else is below. FC Lucy in particular.
Mimics over here just chomping through the Badger and the Phoenix.
Yeah, the Phoenix does go down pretty quickly. Still, Sky Queen's left alive for Lilbro, but it's not even close to enough. That's
Yeah,
a
they're
big
dead.
81% leak for him. And yet, Adams, he leaks as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, at least full
just-
from Drakir and basically a full hold for Lucy.
Yeah,
considering the value.
They
so.
should have gone for the Income King route, but I don't even know that would have been enough to keep them alive, to be fair.
Yeah.
They might just want to get the game over with quickly. Like,
Yep.
if they die here, they die, and that's it. But
And die they do. That is a 2-1 lead now on the side of Barnes Kieran. That is Greed and Chaos taken out of the pool for them. So again, two strong
games get
mastermind
harder.
choices no longer available for Drakir and Lucy. But what do Adams and Isolde have to do now to try and come back into this game, guys? Because, I mean, we talked about momentum being a thing, and yes, with Adams, a couple of unforced errors there in game number 2, leaking to Income on wave 8 and again on wave 11, ultimately costing them the game. It does seem like they're really under pressure now, so they need to kind of knuckle down and try to stay cool as we move into game number 4, but that's a lot easier said than done.
the early game just isn't working out for them. Like,
Hmm.
they kind of just they got caught this game going for their play, and it didn't work out because one, their play didn't work in the end, their 9 play, and yeah, they kind of just have to tighten it up early game.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised because that's like the opposite of what we saw them do in day one. That the
Yeah,
early
like-
game was a strong suit.
Adams was
And,
playing very aggressive in the early game, every game last series, yesterday, right? Like we saw him sending 120 Mythium on wave 4, wave 5, all of that stuff. It's kind of, I don't know, he doesn't seem to be his usual self this time around. Maybe it's just the pressure of facing off against such titans as number 2 rated player of all time, Drakir, and his teammate. Was she 4 or 5 FC Lucy?
5, I believe.
5, yeah. So, yeah, they seem to be struggling, and Kusa really on the back foot now, it seems.
I mean, the biggest thing is that they need to like think a bit more than just brute. Like,
Yeah.
brute is fine in certain situation, but as you said, when the board is full swift, do you really go brute?
Yeah. Is it really the tech? Like, I don't know. The meme seems to have become. It seems to have gone a little bit too far now, right? We've been sending brutes into everything. Turn off brain, send brutes, and it's been pretty good so far. But maybe now people are just starting to actually play swift and natural units to counter it. We saw that Alpha Male built on 7 in the previous game. We've seen Firelords built on 9 in this game, and yeah.
But I'm surprised about the low priority of pack leader as well, because you do have the +1 damage aura,
Yeah, that's
which
a
is
lot.
a huge deal,
It's a lot.
especially when you're building full swift, and
Mhm.
the wave does pierce damage. That's something to consider.
Yeah, but there's some mind games in there as well, right? Like if you send the pack
But
leader and then they build Mudmen, then you're going to wish you sent Brutes. And obviously, if you send
Yeah.
Brutes and they build Firelord, you're going to wish you sent pack leader. So there's a little bit of mind reading going on there as well, I think.
yeah, definitely. But it's just that sometimes it's just go a bit further than just brutes, basically.
Yeah, of course. I mean, maybe you could even send imps sometimes if you're feeling cheeky.
Ooh, or robos.
We are about to find out if people will send imps and robos because game number 4 is upon us. There is a 2-1 lead in favour of Barnes Kieran, which means Team Kusa have got to win this one if they want any hopes of staying in the tournament. It is match point now in game number 4. Barnes Kieran, can they take this one home or will we see another game 5? Let's find out as we move into game 4. Let's go.
Megamind.
I don't really like Adam sticking to the cartel. I think it needs something new. I feel like every time I see cartel in a tournament, it's not working well. But I mean,
Lock
if
in
he wants to
random.
keep it, he's gonna keep it. But lock in random for Drashir. And
Megamind, and wow, Lucy has Tempest, her favorite unit. But she also has Gate Guard. What do you do?
I don't know.
I mean, this looks like a Gate Guard roll to me, but you can take both, honestly, right? Because you could play for like the Phoenix as your high end.
Yeah, I think you start. I think you start Tempest just because you want to transition into Fire Lord later.
You have Shakura
It's
for
what makes the
Shakura.
most sense to me.
Yeah, Sakura, obviously very vulnerable, but it's clearly vulnerable on 7 and 8, and Lucy has some options there. I mean, she's probably going to open Tempest because she just loves the unit, but she has got that Casket, the Gate Guard as well. Extremely good units on Wave 7.
I mean, Gate Guard Steed Howler is one of the freest early games.
And looks like
And
she's
she
going
goes
for
Yeah,
it.
but it's Lucy though,
Oh, no,
right?
yeah,
It's FC. It's
Yeah.
FC. Lucy.
You can't have these pink Tempests
Yeah.
lining your lane and not go for the Tempest opener when it's offered.
And Adamas goes for the cat. Didn't really find, I mean, something great in terms of openers.
Yeah.
Little Bro is going for the Washroom plus the Angler.
I don't know. I think Adams had a pack rat, if I saw that
Yeah, he
correctly,
did.
and he didn't go for it in his role. Knowing the strength of it in the early game being problematic, I'm surprised he didn't take it.
Yeah, interesting. I quite like the Neko Sea Dragon opener, by the way. But I do wish Dams had built his Neko column 3.
Yeah,
It just pairs a lot better when you have your like dragon here, Neko here. Makes it a lot easier to off tank on 5 and 6.
for sure.
I mean,
So they're going for King up into Sakura, so not trying to leak it yet. And King up into Lucy as well. I mean, she's probably going to get 6 workers off that, I would think.
Now we just have another round of King Ups coming out from Adams and Asolde. They are going for King Strong this time around. Unfortunately, no King's Guard this time.
No King's Guard.
I feel like Adams and Isolde are gonna skip 3 to go 4.
I can see that. I guess the thing is, she already shows Howlers, so yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay,
up
it's
to
just
Pink.
income.
Hmm.
I don't know.
We're
It
shaking
feels
hands
going a
so
lot
far.
of income against Sakura is a bit problematic.
Yeah, he might start saving now, right? Because he's gonna overbuild for his bounty, and then
I mean, a
maybe
play
that's when he wants.
could do. I mean, I would be surprised it works against Trishir because of experience. A play could do is to go income again on 4 and then just save enough for potentially double DT since he receives
I
60
see, yeah.
here. It could catch him off guard, but I mean, with the experience of Trishir, I would be surprised it works.
Yeah.
And this False Maiden off-tanking the Lizard perfectly. Looks like it will lead to a hold there for Isolde.
The little guy has a lot of stacks, but he's not gonna get it next wave.
Yeah, but Isolde has a lot
Oh.
of scaling. Whoa.
Ooh.
Okay.
The first
I
power
guess
mercenary of the game coming out here on wave 4. It will be a Robo into
Okay.
Drakir's lane, but he's dropping a Wild Shroom.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, he does have that plus 35.
Yeah,
actually,
this number
so-
here is generally quite good if you're looking to hold a wave.
I guess not the aggression I would have expected. I've only seen people try this when it's double Robo, because that's very hard to hold.
I mean, he
it's
can't even
Robo
afford a
no
snail. Can't even afford
Okay,
a
it's
snail.
just a cheeky robo. Just
I mean, if Drac had went 7 workers and built only 2 seedlings, he might have leaked, but
Yeah, but he
I'm not even
didn't.
sure. Yeah.
He's very easily holding, right?
yeah,
Oops.
that's just
It's not even close.
Well, Adamas goes to 8 workers off this lizard. I mean, he looks like he could get punished on 6, though.
Mm-hmm.
Going
Yeah.
for a Brute on 5 himself. Might
Oh.
catch Lucy. I mean, the thing
And
is, the
it might
Gate
get
Guard
her,
speed
but
with Howlers is just...
Yeah. She's not going to leak badly if she does leak.
Yeah.
Howlers are really good on 5 if she uses the passive properly. Gateguard, obviously infinite HP, we've discussed.
Yeah.
And the Tempest is just going to tank the Scorpion perfectly, right?
And gives her a chance to snipe the Brute, right, with the Tempest passive, so...
yeah.
That's how you would hold. Like, if you don't snipe the Brute, you're obviously going to leak the Brute eventually, but... there's a chance now.
Well,
With the Howler passive.
she's at least missing the passive with one of the Howlers.
Yeah.
But we already have the
Second
second
summon.
summon from the Gateguard, being boosted there by
And
the
someone's hitting
Steed.
the Brute. And the
Yeah,
Brute is dead.
Yeah, she snipes the Brute, it just means it's a
Third
hold,
summon.
right?
Yep.
Very
should
nice.
be, yeah.
Very nice
So
positioning
far,
there
so
from
good
Lucy.
for Brunskaren. No one holding every power merc. Now
Yeah.
Drax saving, even trying to go
that
for
was
the
his-
6 10, yeah.
And that was
What
not
does he go for
holding that.
6? I mean, Zeus, I guess? I mean, Zeus is... But how do you position it? That's the question, I guess.
Hmm.
Call me crazy, but I think it's Mass Bazooka
Yeah,
over,
yeah.
over
see that.
Zeus. I think Zeus is a bait here because it's then bad on 7 and 8.
He just has the
Right.
perfect hold for it, though. It's too tempting to pass up the
But
Zeus
the
here, I
thing
think.
is, like, the Zeus isn't gonna tank, and then
Yeah, Sea Dragon's tanking
losing
full
value.
here.
Yeah.
That's tricky. Like, how do you, like, splitting with 2 range units when they're both left column is almost impossible.
His buzzers do pull the
He's
power
gonna
mercenaries
kill the
to the
Brute, yeah.
right, though, and that does expose the Brute to the Zeus, so it dies very, very quickly.
Okay, maybe a smaller league than expected.
Yeah, he's gonna kill off one
At
more.
least one more. No, he doesn't get the next one, right? So 44%. And
Sure.
Drakir actually leaks more to 2 DTs.
Whoops. He pushed very aggressively to try
Yeah.
and get Adamas here. I think
But
pushed
it-
probably for that last 20.
Isolde very easily covering for his teammate with the big plus 60 value.
Oh wait, no, he didn't push. I think he was shifting, right? He wanted to get bumped, maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
But I mean, that's
Because he has like 170 gold. It's
yeah.
after leaking
No, he
away,
must
so-
be shifting for the bunk. You're right, but that is just deadly there from Drakir because he went for this big play against the Dams and actually ended up leaking worse himself to 2 income mercenaries.
Yeah, and that's Sakura, and Isolde is not sending 7, so he's not falling for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, now it's just what wave do you go for? You
Hmm.
could go just income on 8 to get your KP up if you're getting saved on. Since he's getting sent here, he could read the extra worker and go for a 9 cent instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Could honestly just no push go 10. which is a little evil, but
I mean, I don't
I
hate
think
it.
no push is a bit rough for Isolde's position. I think he needs to push.
Oh, he's only
yeah,
on 7 workers.
He's
Yeah.
getting income tier.
That bounty hunter still
Probably a wave
alive.
8 try into Lucy. Right, we have the Tempest, the Gate Guard, like it's probably wave 8
Yeah.
you want to aim for.
Adams has a lot of Mythium.
Yeah.
I mean, what I want to see is Adam sending here and Isolde saving, but it's not what's going to happen. It's going to be income from Isolde and breaking for Adam.
Yeah.
And
Adam,
kills-
Lucy's just going to kill this pack leader real quick, right? She's not going to
She
change
has
the split.
Uh,
She has to drag the split left.
Oh,
Ooh.
that could
Ooh.
be a mistake actually. So this
Yeah.
this Bone Warrior pulls the pack leader to the right, and it should stay alive a lot longer now as a result.
Yeah.
I
You
was
wanna
like,
focus
oh,
stuff-
Adams might push it with a brute. He didn't have the Mythium. I was like, okay, maybe it
Yeah.
dies.
I'm surprised. Honestly, I would expect Lucy to generally be aware of that. Like,
Hmm.
especially building the harp, right? You don't usually build harp if your intention is to not kill it.
Right.
Build
Yeah,
descent, but
I mean, it is
I mean,
on
it's
the pack
still-
leader
it's still there
now.
now.
but it lived a long time, and that's the big deal with Pack Leader.
Yeah.
The longer it lives, the more damage it do.
But the Harbinger lived a long time as well. I think it's summoned 3
Yeah, it
times
still
already
looks
with the
quite
steed.
good. I think only twice, but I
Okay.
mean, good enough, right?
I mean,
Oh,
she's
yeah, good
she's
at-
doing fantastically well. She's leaking 25% to our 200
You might
cent
say
on
it's
it.
a full hold though.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
he drags the left, but yeah, you know, at least it wasn't a bad punish.
Yep.
But the
Drag
thing
with
is
his
that
save.
that leak would have been way more impactful if Isolde saved on Drakir.
Yeah. Because then Drac is just staying overvalued to cover.
Mhm.
And then, I mean, you have more pressure onto wave 10, which is Drac's only real weak wave right now.
Yeah.
And Drac is kind of abusing that, but he's just saving until 10 himself.
Kusara also going for another round of income here, while Drakir and Lucy are both saving their bricks. So, I don't know.
But they're saving for what? They're saving for 10?
I think Lucy probably just wants the income 10, right? The Kingpin is
Yeah.
coming,
Yeah,
but
the Kingpin's
Drac
coming.
might actually want to go for leaks.
Adams is not bad, honestly. Like, Consort is really good on 10, and obviously
Cat is good damage.
Millennium
Doomsday's
is very good damage, yeah.
He's +5. That helps.
Yeah. No aggressive spells, though, so wave 11 or 12 are less appealing.
Income for Lucy. Oh, income from Drac. I mean,
Yeah,
I think he has to read that Adams is cartel, so he's just like, I'll just save on you and then income.
Yep.
And it's
Just
really
keep
frustrating
you low
if you're
workers.
cartel.
There is a Hermit's End coming out from Isolde into Drakir, though,
Cheeky.
but Drakir is basically on value.
Yeah, I mean, the Hermit is the idea is to counter the potential Haven, but he
Yeah.
haven't.
You haven't.
He goes for bazooka spam. I mean, they nerfed the HP, but they didn't nerf the damage, and bazooka spam is still quite good on 10.
There's 2 types of players in this game, the Havens and the Have-Nots.
But there's still a chance that Drakir leaks here.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Like, Sakura's not that good.
Yeah.
Hotbox not that good.
4 bazookas are quite good, though, when you've got tank value in front of them.
They one-shot the boss.
Absolutely one shot. Look at that thing. Speed running its HP.
Yeah, okay. I guess he holds, but maybe Sakura dies.
Sakura has to die right there.
It looks like the Hermit healing is too much for these little bazookas.
Yeah,
But I think
47%.
he's okay with that.
I mean, he's
push.
fine with that.
He has
Push
embargo,
situation.
or
Yeah.
he has egg for the embargo.
I would have loved Adams and Isolde push hard for 12,
Yeah, I think that play actually looks pretty good.
but they decide to income, and that feels to me like an embargo play for both teams.
Yeah.
I could see, yeah, I was gonna say Lucy going for the Phoenix here makes you kind of want to take battle scars.
Drakir actually presses the worker button instead
Yeah.
of going for the egg, so he's not going
like
for that embargo egg abuse.
I think it's like you see your teammate going for Phoenix, like probably just do the smart thing and not try and risk like a death on 12 randomly when you're ahead.
That's gonna be the famous battle scar not on the unit you want, on Adams, I presume.
Yeah, it might go in the cat.
Yeah, I
But
feel like
honestly-
it's the cat.
Let's see. I could see it getting on the DK if the wave is long enough, right? So embargo for 2 players, battle scars for the other 2. What is this gonna be, right? Because Like 15 is realistically the wave you want to go against Adams and Isolde, but how do you get there because your 14 doesn't look good?
Yeah. Adams and Isolde are surely looking towards wave 14 with these pickups. Like Adams is phenomenally strong on 13 with Doomsday Zeus, and Isolde will have the embargo gold
It's on
to
the cat.
keep himself safe.
Oh, I mean, 7-stack cat and battle scores, that's not even bad, man.
Yeah.
He's spinning it now.
Mm,
Actually, the Nekomata is like the next 5 units are also not the Shadow Dancer on the damage taken chart.
I was thinking, like, am I crazy to think that maybe Drasher and Lucy do a repeat of game 1 and go for a 13
13,
stem?
yeah.
But I'm looking at his Isolde and I'm like,
Yeah.
unless he does not prepare 13, which I
Yeah.
mean, I would be surprised he does not.
I mean, he can do both, right? Just go Starcaller here.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing like kill all your damage on wave 12 and make this wave super long.
It is the tech.
Oh,
They're going income.
Lucy.
Wow, really?
Well, this could backfire badly if Adams and Isolde do save past wave 13.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Adamas and Isolde are saving for sure.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, Adams.
It's a solo
had been-
income.
Oh,
Drakir does not send. Lucy trying to make the most of her workies, right? Like she has
Yeah.
20 workies,
What?
300 income.
The thing
I
is, I
mean,
don't think she holds 14. Am I crazy?
I
Lucy?
mean, I think you're right. That 14 is problematic for both Drashir and Lucy.
I think the crazy thing is like, could actually have seen a leak. Whoa. That's not the right form. I guess maybe just thinking that little bro is gonna be way too much on value for the next set anyways, so yeah, scaling a bit.
Yeah, but now Lil Bro
Oh,
can just
yeah.
push to the moon, right?
Yeah.
They still need to be careful to be not doing a waddle thingy.
Yeah.
Does
Because-
Drac try with double GK now? Like he's very undervalued.
No, Drakir's going for income as well. They just want like a max pumped up king, I guess, because this send they know is coming here on 14 is pretty
Oh.
large.
GK.
GK? What's the GK for?
I mean, I guess for these guys,
Yeah, but it's just
But
not
the
going to
problem
tank
is-
anything, right?
yeah.
Like we already
Yeah.
see a raise split from Drakir.
yeah.
The GK goes right, and it just will never tank. And the Haven does AOE
yeah,
damage.
AOE, so. Oh, well, okay.
That's a DPS Ghost Knight if I've ever seen one.
Lucy has. Wait, who's stealing? Oh, the Harbinger stole 2 Battle Scar stacks. The rascal.
What a beast! I mean, those dogs are going to
Nice.
be attacking very quickly.
Uh,
We're in for some bam woof action.
Yeah, I mean, with the steeds pumping as well. I mean, unfortunately, this Halo is actually stealing a bit of mana from the Phoenix
Yeah, and
the
this
other
guy as well.
Hey, this is a 400 set. It's not that big. Like, she has a reasonable chance, even with, like,
Yeah.
bad-ish units.
The Phoenix is just perfect.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely perfect. She's going to hold. Drakir, I mean, the DPS Ghost Knight is doing work, I guess. He will be leaking decently.
But,
That's
yeah,
104% for him.
Double Income King Master class.
Yeah. Her Phoenix doesn't even die.
Whoa.
Phoenix does not even die. Meanwhile, Adams leaks 58% to the Income King.
Yeah, I mean, Drakir knew he didn't even need those power ranks.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like you said, this just doesn't feel that good. Like, you got double Income King and you weren't able to trade any advantage off of it.
Yeah, I mean that hold was something special there. FC Juicy, the Queen of Legion, just proving how she earned that title in the top 10.
Yeah, don't give her this Tempest unit. Just looking too nasty with it. Such a huge lead. And they're kind of going for an overbuild play, but can they?
Jewel?
Drakir is very, very pushed. I mean, I think Drac, honestly, this looks like a potential leak to no send angle, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because the. Maybe it's fine.
But
Ju-
this series, every time that Adams and Isolde were behind, it's always Adams with the lower worker. Like, it's always that issue. Like he doesn't have that much pressure on the one he's setting onto. It has been the story of this series. That's Adams being lower worker, and it's just part of the reason is that each game he's been saved on the early game, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
unplayable.
Pressure
Yeah.
Adams, win the series. Is that how the gameplay works?
I think it's more just pressure the cartel player.
Yeah. Isolde's leaking
And
no
don't-
send here, by the way.
Whoa.
If we look up at the Jules-ometer as well, Jules is currently giving Barnes Kieran a 69% chance to win,
Yeah,
which
and-
I'm
okay.
reliably told is the funny number.
I think
mean,
it's
it's a
better
pretty
per week
nice
when you're
chance.
this value compared to that value.
Yeah,
And I do think Little Bro is in a better spot to hold 16 than Adami, so he might have really wanted the extra gold. I mean, he's prepping mass to try and hold, right? So...
yeah. Well, the thing is, Big Bro has Pyros.
Ah, okay. Well,
Do you
oh,
sell
okay.
this?
Drakir's not even setting. Oh, or is he saving for the Honey Bear? Because he still has a lot of Mythium.
I guess he is, right? Yeah, there's
I mean, the Honey
180
Bear
there.
or a ranged send, one of those two, right?
Hmm.
Like a witch, maybe.
Speaking of honey
I
bears,
guess it's which. I guess it's I don't know.
Oh, I mean, the Honey Bear to counter these Pyros.
yeah,
Little Bro has the read.
Little Bro with the read.
Oh, he's going just double GK then, or
Yeah, double GK.
GK.
Okay. Well, now
I
the
mean, there's no
Pyros are really
tanks,
good
right?
value.
but yeah, the Pyros obviously are gonna farm.
Yeah.
Well, one of them is actually dead.
The thing is, Kusa
two.
do not have very good spell upgrades, while obviously Barnes Kieran are full. But the Honey Bear in this lane did absolute wonders. Drakir's leaking
Yeah.
massively, 106% for him. But look at this Phoenix
It's
once
not even
again.
close, yeah.
Holy. And 26 creeps reaching the King of Kusa with not very many spell upgrades. I
Yeah.
think they might just die here.
Oh, they might die. Yeah, actually, no spell.
This
you're right.
this might be 100 to 0.
I mean, it's a pack leader also. Or no longer, but
It's close. It's close.
Can I kill him next spell?
Oh, they
my
survive,
God.
but barely. And meanwhile, Barnes Kieran hardly taking king damage. FC Juicy. Holy
Now
moly.
they die on 19, right? Well, Adama's
I
going
mean,
for
we
a
have a
Sui
full
play.
push. Oh, there's an egg. Okay. There's 2 eggs. Okay.
Okay, well, the full push might well be rewarded.
I mean, I guess Drakir's realizes, like, yeah, the worker button doesn't matter for him anymore.
He's going double egg.
I think it's double egg into cell double egg, right?
Yeah. This double egg
Yeah.
might be the one way that Jules' 5% probability can come to pass.
Okay.
Double egg, Lucy sells her Phoenix by accident.
Yeah, yeah.
It's egg, bunk.
I guess, okay. I mean, their theory is that you can't send Lucy on 18,
Yeah.
which is a pretty good theory.
I mean, Lucy's plus 85 and she shifted 375 gold, so she's going to be exceptionally hard to break on 18.
Yeah, but they're gonna try because Adams keeps pushing.
Yeah,
so
they
that
have to
means-
try. They have to try. This is their only out, I think.
I don't think the sun is correct. I don't think Shaman is gonna do too much here.
Oh, you need tanks, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
you
do,
got
do we send them?
No?
they
Do we
skip.
sell the egg? Sell the egg? We keep the egg?
Keep the egg. He's building Zeus's though. Pretty good DPS for 18. He
Full
does sell the
faith
egg.
in
He does sell
Lucy.
the egg.
Okay. We're safe. We're safe.
I
mean-
mean, Lucy is basically on value if you consider battle
Yeah.
scores. Triple Levi, Halo, 1 million battle scores, Phoenix, even some dogs.
Yeah, Lucy's going to be fine.
Yeah,
Her unit quality is just so good here on wave 18 as well.
The biggest issue is that I don't feel Adams recognizes what's the threat here with his send. Okay, yeah, it's correct
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end. It's just, like, you need to prevent the DPS to kill those Will Chieftains.
Yeah.
Since they're
Oh, the
tanks.
Phoenix is dying quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Too much mana
Plus, they
being used
also
up by the
well-
Halos and the Dark Mage, right? So
Well,
the Phoenix
are
can't.
also dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, the entire wave is dead.
Even with the feasting on all those little dogs,
Yeah.
like, there's still 3 Levi Halos.
Yeah,
Got his guy, but
yeah. Drakir leaks 50 gold shutdown, but I mean this game's over.
yeah. Here comes the final blow.
Well, we do get to see another wave 19, which is exciting.
Yeah, we made it to the late game.
We made it.
I
But-
mean, it's pretty convincing display for Drakir and Lucy. I mean, I think it's just good adjustment from game 1, and Adams and Isolde didn't really adjust after that
Mhm.
counter punch by Drakir and Lucy. Like
Yeah.
they just found the recipe and they followed it.
Yeah. And while it is exciting that we get to see Wave 19, somehow I doubt we're going to get to see Wave 20.
Yeah.
There's 5% chance we see it.
I'm not sure about that one.
The sends are big, but Adams doesn't hold anything. Lucy's holding everything, and Drakir also has good unit for this wave. I mean, the DPS is lacking, but should.
No.
He didn't push.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that Adams has gone for the Sui push already, right? So there's no need for Drakir to press the worker button. And yeah, look at this. Adams with the 183% leak. And Lil Bro, he's trying valiantly to hold, but it will not be enough. That's 110% leak for him. And with 24 creeps going towards the King of Kusa, I don't think even Kingsguard would keep them alive now.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you have it, guys. Your November Nova Cup champions have been decided. It is Team Barnes Kieran, Drakir, and FC Lucy. Massive congratulations to those guys. Let's see if we can get them on for a winners interview, and we can have a quick chat with our deserving winners before we end the stream for the day. But Matt, that was an exciting best of 5 series.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nice call, Penny, for the 3-1 for Barnes
Yeah.
Kieran.
Yeah, and that's the main thing, right? I mean, Drakir, you know,
Yeah.
Drakir, Lucy, welcome to the winners interview. Very well played and all that. We're very happy for your performance here. But the main thing is, my prediction was correct for the series. But really, really well played, guys. Like, jokes aside, this was a phenomenal series by yourselves. Very good performance throughout the cup. Shout out actually to Fake One and the Pakistan RQS for taking a series off you in the first day, so I'm sure they're very happy with that, to take a series off the champs. But the meta is really the star of the show, I think, this month, because things have certainly shifted around a lot. It's fair to say we've gone from Income King throughout the early game to a really fast and aggressive meta. How have you guys enjoyed the transition?
It's kind of interesting actually, because I feel like the Nova meta this Nova Cup is kind of the inverse of the latter. Like, I feel like people build a lot to try to hold those brutes.
Yeah.
So we actually had more success not going for the brutes and just going for like a more controlled, like skip a couple waves, go income kind of early game.
Yeah. I mean, you really
Yeah.
handled Adams on Cartel every time with that, right? So every time he was Cartel, you were doing exactly what you said. You were kind of skipping a couple of waves and then just sending Cannoneers or something. And as a result,
Yeah.
Adams is just falling further and further behind. Once his Cartel, like, income loss happens on wave 11, he's just at the bottom of the pack by far.
Yeah, that's why we lost against Pakistan and Fake One. I just sent like brutes every single wave.
Yeah.
And I didn't scale at all.
Do like
So-
3 to 6 and they hold, and then we're
Yeah.
200 behind.
Yeah. And that's how I've been losing all my ladder games as well. I've been enjoying the -3 far too much and then taking myself out of the game. But it's interesting that you picked up on that and then obviously have formulated a strategy around it. So you expect your opponents to be high value. You skip a couple of waves, you send a Cannoneer, and all of a sudden you're in a really good spot.
Yeah.
I see Shadow's got some notes there. So if we got some...
Yeah. Because these are my pre-Nova Cup predictions, okay? So I was like, the tourney meta will not be the solo queue meta. It will be towards power mercs, yes, but income is still good.
Yeah.
And don't to forget it. And also, the final one, Asynchronous Sense will win this Nova. And I think we got
True.
this.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like, I really like doing those like split sends. Especially that last game was so good. Like Lucy just incomes 13-14, gets the
Yeah.
free holds on 14. Well, I'll just take the leak, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And you're continuing to apply pressure onto the stronger player of the enemy team. I think actually we saw a really good example of that. Was it game number 1, guys, where Lucy was applying that pressure onto... I forget who you...
The
Yeah.
semis game 1.
In the semis, yeah. So against Pavidad, right? So you were putting a ton of pressure onto Pavidad. That let Drakir push up to 15 workers wave 8.
The YOLO game.
Yeah, the YOLO game. Yeah, with a very classic Drakir YOLO roll, I think it's fair to say.
It's a nice one.
But then yeah, so you went 15 workers on 8. You still hold the full send on wave 9 because Pavidad has no workers. You get a ton of king damage in, and all of a sudden you're just miles ahead and running away with the game.
Yeah, that's why I like YOLO in the first game of the series. Like, if I high roll the YOLO, it's just like you still have all the good masterminds.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good strategy actually. So you go with a risky mastermind first off the bat. If you lose with it, whatever, it was your risky pick. If you win with it, fantastic. Now you've got your strongest masterminds to go for the rest of the series. I think it's really good strategic foresight to go with something like that. But have you guys been enjoying the meta? I think we have seen some of the longest games with you guys in them, because we certainly had some fast ones in other series.
I'm enjoying it pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more engaging. Like, there's some more nuance in the early game that you have to account for.
Yeah.
So, can't just auto-send every game.
Yeah. I think we definitely had a lot of that last month, right? Where like the first 10 waves were pretty much just income king from all 4 players, and then the game starts like on wave 11. But that definitely hasn't been the case this time around. So credit where due. I think Jules has really shook things up.
No more handshaking.
No more
No more
handshaking.
shaking.
Now it's all about the hugs, right? You send the friendly brutes with the hugs, and yeah, it's been pretty exciting, and it's definitely been a pretty quick Nova Cup as well. You know, we had a bunch of Wave 13 kills. Was it you guys against Adam's Solde with the Wave 13 one shot?
That was how we did.
Oh,
Oh, that was
Yeah,
Pavidad
yes,
as well.
Pavidad.
Yeah. Look, guys, I'm
Yeah,
getting
they
old.
just didn't respect the embargo.
Yeah. I mean, did you expect to win there? Like, I know you were getting some
mean-
damage in, but did you think they were dead?
Yeah.
I
I
did.
mean, once we saw the leaks, we saw like, oh, they're probably dead. But I mean, it's like the thing with embargo. Like on wave 12, your value looks great, and then on wave 13, you're
Yeah.
like, wait a second.
Yeah.
It happened to us many times, so we kind of learned from that.
Yeah.
Getting
Pretty
undercut by
spicy.
embargo.
You guys have been getting a lot of games in the new patch, right? So you're feeling pretty comfortable with the new meta and how things are going. And look, you've obviously adapted very quickly, and I've put that to good use with a pretty commanding 3-1 here against Team Kusa.
Thank you.
Thank
We've
you.
Got
been
a
less than
question.
usual, but
Sorry, Lucy, I missed that.
I've been playing less than usual, but
Yeah,
still
that,
a bit.
Yeah.
Less than usual is still a lot for you, I guess.
Only like 20 games today.
No, they 15 this week, I think. Something.
15. Oh, you're slacking, Lucy.
Yeah.
And as well, obviously, the congratulations are in order for your performance here in the Nova Cup. But a big congratulations to both of you for placing so highly on Jules' top 10 players of all time list. Drakir, you were ranked second in the list, and Lucy, I think you were ranked 4 or 5. Extremely well deserved. Obviously, the Queen of Legion and the Dragon Drakir as well. Really securing your spots there in the list with the legacy that you guys have had since full release is really, really well deserved. But I think. Shall I go ahead?
I just wanted to ask more towards the series, because we saw a lot of it. How do you think Kingsguard is impactful in those games? Because you see a lot of one shots still past 15, even with Kingsguard. So how impactful do you think Kingsguard is to get to those late game situation? And yeah, what's the reasoning behind it, basically?
I feel like Kingsguard is just so good because if you like, what is that, like the breakpoint, the king becomes stronger after like 16 now, right? That's what like the HP. That's what the
Yes.
Jules said in the patch notes. So like once you get to the late stage, it makes a huge difference. I think. Like that one game where we like survived on 16 and then we both leaked on 19 but still lived. So like
Yeah,
stuff like that happens all the time with Kingsguard. I feel like.
Yeah.
It just makes a big difference.
It definitely seemed like a premium pick, right? Like we had a lot of players taking it in the
Yeah.
first game of every series, and it's performing very, very well right now, it seems.
Yeah, it's like one of the highest win rate masterminds
Hmm.
in this patch,
Hmm.
which makes sense.
Yeah,
Because
you can
also
see why.
like if
I know.
the king is stronger, they also get less gold from leaks, right?
Yeah, good point. And the other thing that I've noticed as well is with the changes to leak bounty, like into the mid and late game, those undercuts have been working really well. So actually, in the game that we talked about, where you guys survived on 16, I mean, sure, you ended up winning the game eventually, but the enemy team got so much gold from your leaks there on 16 that it kind of gave them a chance, right? They were able to then survive
Yeah.
your 17 counterattack because they got like infinite gold on wave 16.
It's like a game changer, right?
It
Yeah, there
really
was
is
two
a game
game
changer.
changers in
Yeah.
one game in 2 waves. Yes.
It really is a game
I-
changer.
the funny thing is we're never sure for who it is the game changer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because like the powers, we were like ahead in power score, but we were like down in King HP, so we're like, wait, who is it for now?
But yeah,
It's
so
pretty
the
funny.
leak gold has been nice. The Kingsguard change has been nice. I just think the current patch is really interesting, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play out. Any questions from yourself, Offma?
Not really.
Put you on
Oh,
the spot.
I guess one thing is like, I mean, like after the second game, do you just know that Domus is playing Cartel every game, and you walk in with the plan that you're just gonna long save him relatively early?
I don't think we
Didn't we
discussed.
plan on-
We didn't like actively discuss that now, but I guess we did notice that like applying a pressure on Adamus worked well,
Okay.
just to deny him some freedom.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the strategy worked out. Like, I think Shadow, you mentioned during some of the games that Adam's always tended to be like the lowest workers by the mid game, and it is direct. It's not because Adams is a bad player. Of course, he's a fantastic player. It's because of the way that you guys have handled him with this, like skipping a few waves and then sending cannoneers, and all of a sudden Adams just doesn't have any economy to play with.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah,
sure.
it was a very good adjustment from game one. Game one, you didn't really go for that, and so it was a bit closer. Also, it was the favorite mastermind of Adams in redraw.
Yeah.
But even with his best mastermind, it was looking shaky. But the fact that you make the adjustment to make it even more awkward for him, and I just spotted it as a good recipe, and you kept with it. I was expecting Adams to maybe adjust to it and maybe pull out something different than Cartel, but it didn't appear.
No, not this time. Okay, I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to ask. Shadow, have you got any more questions, or are you?
I'm good.
You're all good. Okay, well, I mean, look, fantastic performance from you guys. I just want to do a quick round of shout outs, obviously, to Auto Attack Games. One, for giving us this really fun patch to play and watch, but of course, for sponsoring the tournaments and keeping the Nova Cup scene alive. A big welcome to all of the new players who've joined us for the free to play weekend. I hope you're enjoying the game. I hope you enjoyed the show. And of course, a big thank you to my lovely casters, Offma and Shadowwings and Seto from yesterday. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast with you guys. That's it from me. Do we have any final words from the co-casters?
Congratulations to the last winner of this year Nova Cups. We're gonna see Nova Cup continuing next year if everything goes well. I don't think it's within the cards to not continue. But also, if you still want to see competitive Legion, I still think FTQ does his cup next month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
So
I think.
it's still something to look forwards to.
Definitely. Offma, anything from yourself?
No, just thanks for having me. It's always fun to cast Legion if I'm not playing quite as much as I used to. Just really fun watching, especially this patch. Just everyone getting to show a little more of their skill in the early game. Makes it really exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. I think it would be fitting to give the absolute last words to our deserving champions. So, Drakir, Lucy, anything from yourselves before we wrap up?
Not really.
Think so.
Nothing? Okay, well, in that case,
Enjoying the patch.
enjoying the patch.
Enjoy the patch!
In that case, what could possibly be more fitting to end the stream than Fast and Aggressive, once again by Nick Tier, a perfect song for this fast and aggressive November Nova Cup. And guys, we'll see you next year. Goodbye.
Bye bye.